What's up, dummies? How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday. About 3 weeks till Christmas. One day till Georgia wins the SEC championship tomorrow. Couple of weeks till the playoffs start. It really is the most wonderful time of the year. I had me a steak dinner. Good luck trying to tell me anything today. Good luck trying to troll me. Good luck trying to tell me anything. I had a steak dinner. There's college football on. I've got coffee, water, and Diet Dr. Pepper. And I had a steak dinner. And college football is on. Good luck trying to tell me anything. Can't tell me nothing. James Madison's getting beat by Troy. What are we going to do about that? I took James Madison minus the points in the first half, so that's looking like a loser. So hopefully y'all can get this first half bet right. Let's see how y'all came down in this first half bet here. North Texas, Tulane, first half. Y'all are taking North Texas. I like that. That was my pick. So I like that. Doesn't mean we'll hit it, but we're going to try. North Texas to win the first half. Let's do it. All right. North Texas to win the first half. $100 to win $83. Let's see if we can pull it off. Let's see if we can pull it off. How's everybody doing? You get your weekend off to a great start. Happy Friday. Is that a Las Vegas coffee? Boy, god damn. Hey, lady, they can't tell me shit today. I had a steak dinner. There's football on. I got coffee, water, Diet Dr. Pepper, and I didn't even realize that this is the Vegas coffee mug. Yeah, they can't troll me or say shit to me. Oh, they're gonna try, yeah. They always fucking try. I know all these teams are in their conference championship games, but who have they played? Hey, let me ask you something, Lou. James Madison is ranked, and if they win, they might be in the playoffs if the ACC don't get in. James Madison? Who have they played? They lost to Louisville, Woo. God dang, man. Come on, man. What are we doing? Micah says the metrics just don't show us how Miami gets in over Notre Dame. Metrics? Hey, what about head to head? Look up that metric. Look up head to head and see what you find there. On that metric there. The metrics. You mean the metrics that were invented to differentiate between teams that have the same record but haven't played each other? So we have to look at advanced metrics to try to guess who might be better? You talking about those metrics? Hey, I don't know if you noticed or not, but they actually played, man. I had some idiot Notre Dame fan on Twitter earlier today go, well, if Notre Dame and Miami played again today, Notre Dame would be favored. Hey, dipshit. Notre Dame was favored the first time they played, you fucking moron. Holy shit. We don't just look at the spread and then declare a winner based on that. You actually played a fucking game, dummy. What are you doing? What? What are we doing? What are you doing? James Madison did just score to retake the lead over Troy. 9-7. Here comes the extra point. It's up and it's good. 10-7. James Madison with a 3-point lead over Troy. North Texas and Tulane getting ready to start. Got Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State on over here. Football overload up in this bitch. Oh, man. I'm in a good mood today, man. I'm in a good mood today. I'm going to be in a good mood tomorrow. Not only do I get to see Georgia play tomorrow, I get to see Georgia play. I get to see them play for an SEC championship. I get to see them play Alabama. And if they lose, they're in the playoffs with a home playoff game. Oh, man. What a great fucking weekend, man. What a great fucking weekend. What if Duke and Troy win? If Duke and Troy win, my guess would be Duke gets in. That would be my guess. My guess would be that Duke gets in. Or, hear me out. UNLV. UNLV is 10-2. One of their losses was to Boise State. They're playing Boise State again today, right now, as a matter of fact, in the conference championship game. So if Duke and Troy win, maybe UNLV gets ranked as the 5th highest conference champion. Florida fans, how y'all doing? Dan Mullen's playing for a possible trip to the playoffs. Florida is celebrating yet another failed coaching hire. Texas, death, and Ohio State getting the #1 wide receiver recruit. Guess they don't need Hartline, just another NFL wide receiver for them. He's 6'6" as well. Yeah, a wide receiver factory is that's what Ohio State is, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Georgia is winning tomorrow. Woo. I did pick Georgia to win tomorrow. It's the first time I've picked them to beat Bama in the last 3 times they've played, but I am riding with Georgia tomorrow in the SEC championship game. What's going on here in the Kennesaw State Jacksonville State game? I'm glad you asked. Kennesaw State up 7-0 over Jacksonville State with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Let's see, are we caught up here? The metrics tell us head-to-head doesn't matter anymore and that games don't actually matter. That's what they're trying to get us to believe, is that the games that are played don't actually matter. It's just what some metric system tells you about how good a team is in week 9 or something. Notre Dame just joined the FSU lawsuit to only use metrics and not actual games. Right. Notre Dame fans are going to be awfully disappointed on Sunday when they don't get into playoffs. I know that, because they are 100% convinced that they're getting in. Notre Dame fans are going to be looking for a steeple to jump off of. What a great day. What a great fucking day. Troy's got the ball on 3rd and Oblivion. They're going to only gain 2 or 3 yards, which means it's going to be 4th at Oblivion. And they will have to punt it back to James Madison with about 12.5 minutes to go in the first half. Would love to see Notre Dame get left out, says Grant Butler. Texas is going to riot when they don't get in. They would have already rioted if that was the case, because they already know they're not getting in. All they're going to do is cry and stomp their feet, and their head coach is threatening to adopt the Indiana scheduling model, which I don't really give a shit. Texas will lose 2 or 3 games a year, even if they don't play any decent non-con games. We saw that this year. So I don't really care whether Texas has the balls to schedule any more non-con games or not. Sarkeesian's threatening to adopt the Indiana scheduling model. I don't really give a shit. Go ahead, bud. Whatever makes you happy, Texas man. Schedule whatever you want, bud. You're still not beating Georgia. No, no matter who Texas schedules in the non-con, they're still not beating Georgia, are they? No, they're not. Man, I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good. Hey lady, I might work all night. She's so done with me. She's had it up to here. Any football on? Yeah, okay, 3 games on. Okay. Is Vabdu really going to play a 13th? No, they're not. No, they're not. Thank you for the super chat, but no. Vabdu is going to play a 13th game. It's called a bowl game in 2 or 3 weeks. But no. What you're talking about them doing, no, they're not doing that. If Notre Dame makes the playoffs and lost to Oklahoma, they should move on anyway because they've looked better and have better losses. It's a fair point. That's a fair point. Notre Dame should be double elimination if they get into the playoffs. Notre Dame should have to lose twice. Well, no, they've already lost twice. Notre Dame is triple elimination. Notre Dame's not eliminated from the playoffs unless they lose 3 times because they're favored over some random team that they lost to. And they blew out Syracuse 70-7. Don't half of Notre Dame's wins come against teams that had no Power 4 wins at all? Pretty sure they do. Pretty sure they do. What do you think of Penn State hire? No better than James. Is it official? Did they hire Matt Campbell? I mean, I think Matt Campbell's a good coach. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't. At this point, I don't think it matters who Penn State hires. I think they're going to be bad for 4 or 5 years straight, and I think that's what they deserve. At least that's what I'm rooting for. So I like Matt Campbell. Great guy, good coach at Iowa State. I think he's had the best 3-year run at Iowa State of any Iowa State coach in history or whatever. I just think Penn State's dead for 4 or 5 years, no matter who the coach is at this point. I feel good myself. I'm drinking whiskey and beer, says Justin Hardy. You supposed to mix that, bud? Aren't you supposed to drink one or the other? Notre Dame beat 7 Power 4 teams with 0 Power 4 wins. God damn. Two of their other wins were against Group of 5 teams, Navy and Boise State. Hit the thumbs up for that like. It's free. Did you see their recruiting class? Penn State, I looked the other morning, they were 150th. There were Ivy League schools and FCS schools ahead of them. Mixing whiskey and beer is my type of guy. Well, all right. Well, you got you a buddy here in Jolish. Then y'all can be drinking buddies with the mixing the whiskey and the beer. James Madison on the move again up near midfield. Going to be stopped for a loss on 1st and 10 at the 45, their own 45. 2nd and 10 coming up, 11:20 to go in the first half of that one. Penn State still had more 4-stars than Rutgers. Colorado has a better recruiting class than Penn State does. That's the literal definition. Good God. That's the literal definition of down bad there. You got Dion out recruiting you, and he don't even know what recruiting is or even try to do it. Dang. Oregon thinks they're a blue blood now, 0 natties. I saw that on Twitter today. The whole blue blood thing has gotten completely out of control. First of all, 90% of the people who start talking about blue bloods on Twitter don't even know what a blue blood is. It's obvious they don't, or they would never say some of the dumb shit that they say. Then I had, after I explained to somebody that Oregon wasn't a blue blood, they said, well, they might not be a blue blood now, but if they win 3 natties in the next 15 years, they'll be a blue blood. No, that's not how blue blood. You can't become a blue blood anymore. Blue blood is in the past. I don't see why anybody cares. Half the blue bloods aren't any good today. Oregon's good today. Isn't that more important than arguing over whether or not they're a blue blood? Would you rather be Oregon today or Nebraska? You know, would you rather be Oregon or Texas? I mean, what are we doing? All right, getting ready to kick things off here between North Texas and Tulane. Looks like North Texas will be getting the ball first. Tulane's set to kick it off here. And we are underway. This kickoff is going to be caught. Nope, they let it drop into the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10, North Texas. When Dion is out recruiting you, it's time to completely rethink how your program is being handled. Yes. Yes. Well, the problem with Penn State is that there is nobody handling the program right now. They haven't had a coach for 3 months. Notre Dame is playing the best football of any team since week 2. That sounds like an interesting opinion. You want to hear a fact? Notre Dame is 10-2, Miami is 10-2, and Miami beat them. But that is an interesting opinion, Micah. Lou, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Dogs and tied for the SEC. Entertainment values off the charts on this channel. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate that. Jeff Sharp, I appreciate you tuning in tonight. Thank you for the super chat. And I am glad you are entertained. Gladiator style. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? You know what didn't entertain me? Gladiator 2. Absolute dog shit movie. Gladiator 2. If you haven't seen it, don't. Just rewatch the first one. The Gladiator 2 is complete and total dog shit. And I love Denzel Washington. It's hard to fuck something up when Denzel Washington is in it, but Gladiator 2 figured out a way to do it. It's a terrible fucking movie. It's dried up. Just a dried up, terrible movie. Roadhouse remake is terrible. I never watched it because luckily I heard ahead of time how bad it was. So I never got sucked in. 2nd and 8, the North Texas quarterback is going to scramble out to his right and pick up a first down, gain of about 9, needed 8. 4th and 10, and James Madison is going to punt it away here. Running out of time for James Madison to cover that first half spread. Turns out the spread doesn't necessarily indicate how a game will go, despite Notre Dame man's best attempt to convince you otherwise. A spread is not an indication of how a game will go. Yeah. No true Oregon fan thinks Oregon is or wants Oregon to be a blue blood. Fuck that Oregon fan that said that. He's a 5-star dummy. He's definitely a 5-star dummy, David. What's up, David? Good to see you in here, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. Good luck on your bets tonight, buddy. I know you got some in. Pool, thank you for the super chat. Pool, he says, it is past time for teams to refuse to schedule Notre Dame until the Domers are in a conference. And to give this more teeth, teams should also refuse to schedule teams that play Notre Dame. That would create a problem there because you don't control your conference schedule. So, for example, Clemson is retarded and has scheduled to play Notre Dame every year for the next 8 years. Florida State can't then go, well, then we're not going to play Clemson. But because the ACC schedules those games. I understand the point you're making, though, and I agree that no team should schedule Notre Dame. There's no benefit to it. It only benefits Notre Dame. It only benefits Notre Dame. BYU winning would throw Notre Dame and Miami out. Yes, it would. And look, my goal isn't to get Notre Dame out of the playoffs. I think Notre Dame's a good team, too. I've watched them over the last 10 games, just like all of y'all have. I think Notre Dame's a good team. My only point with the whole thing is that we cannot dilute and water down a competitive sport to the point where on-field results either don't matter or matter less than some stat sheet. Like, the result of a game has to matter. So to me, because Miami and Notre Dame have the same record and Miami beat them, I can't accept a ranking that has Notre Dame ahead of Miami. So if they want to put Miami at 9 and Notre Dame at 10, I've got no problem with that. None. My only issue is that Miami is ranked behind Notre Dame. That's it. I don't have an issue in and of itself with Notre Dame being ranked 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. That's not the point. My point is they are setting a precedent here where what they think, those 13 people in that room, what they think is more important than a result on the field. And I just, you can't get to a point where that's the case. Head-to-head has been and is the first tiebreaker in every sport on the entire planet since the beginning of time. That's the first tiebreaker in every scenario, in every sport. Oh, these two teams have the same record? Did they play? Yeah. Who won? Team A? Okay, well, Team A is ahead of Team B. It's been that way since the beginning of time, and the committee is balling that up and throwing it away if they put out a final ranking that has 10-2 Miami and 10-2 Notre Dame, with Miami behind Notre Dame. That's my only issue. Not that Notre Dame sucks or is terrible or has no business in the playoffs. See, that's got nothing to do with it. I think Notre Dame's a good team. Vandy's a good team. They're not getting in either. Texas is a decent team. They're not getting in. BYU is probably not getting in. Like, there's a lot of good teams that are getting in. Being good isn't a reason to be in the playoffs. You also have to earn it. And they haven't earned it because, in my opinion, they've got to be behind Miami. Hey, Lou, good luck to your dogs tomorrow. Hey, thank you, Chandler. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. North Texas with another first down. They're in the red zone, their first possession of the game. The streaming schedule tomorrow, I'll be on Patreon at 4 o'clock for the SEC Championship game. The link to the Patreon page is in the description of the video. I'll be on Patreon at 4 o'clock for the SEC Championship game. And 'tis the season. You know, it's Christmas time. I'm giving away $500 tomorrow on the Patreon stream. I'll post that link in the chat real quick. There you go. There's the link to the Patreon right there. Patreon costs $10. If you're not signed up, get signed up. Come hang out with us. Watch the SEC Championship game tomorrow on Patreon. And you have a chance to win $500. Somebody's winning $500 tomorrow. Well, it's either going to be one $500 winner or two people winning $250. I'm going to let the people on the stream tomorrow decide whether they want one $500 winner or two $250 winners. But anyway, the giveaway will be at halftime. So a lot of times people can't hang out for the entire stream for whatever reason. The giveaway will be at halftime of the SEC Championship game. That's on Patreon. Link in the description. I just posted it in the chat. Get yourself signed up. It's only $10. Best $10 you'll ever spend. We have a good time over there. I stream over there every Saturday. Every Saturday. What's worse, Gladiator 2 or 2024 FSU or Deion's actual head coaching abilities? Gladiator 2 is worse because it's unwatchable. I enjoyed watching Florida State suck, and I enjoy watching Deion crash and burn. Those things are watchable. Gladiator 2, unwatchable. No entertainment value. A lot of entertainment value in watching Florida State circle the drain. You know what I mean? A lot of entertainment value there. Kennesaw State still up 7-0 over Jacksonville State. 20 seconds to go in the first half of that one. Still 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half between James Madison and Troy. James Madison's up 10-7 in that one. No score, North Texas and Tulane. The winner of this game may lose to the number 5 by 60, says Hogman. Thank you for the super chat, Hogman. Micah says, if Bama losses, why should they still be in over Notre Dame with 3 losses? I say SEC bias. Because the third loss would come in a 13th game, which Notre Dame refuses to play in every year by not joining a conference. But I think you already knew the answer to that when you asked it. Lou will take off a piece of clothing for every UGA touchdown on Patreon, worth every dollar. My girlfriend is so glad I bought her a Lou Patreon membership for Christmas. I can neither confirm nor deny. But I will say this, your girlfriend has purchased a lifetime membership over on my OnlyFans. Now, you really should be concerned about that because there's some weird shit that goes on over there. And your girlfriend bought a lifetime membership there on that deal there. North Texas on the 15-yard line, 4th and 1. They're lined up to go for it. 4th and inches, really. Shotgun, snap, back to throw. Gets rid of it. Caught. First down at the 12 or 13-yard line. A little out route in the flat there on 4th and inches, and North Texas converts a 4th down. And this Florida defense here is terrible. Boy. Florida fans, are y'all watching this? North Texas is going right down the field on y'all like y'all don't even exist. Summerall might be in a bad way here. A handoff on 1st and 10 gains a yard down just inside the 10. Going to be 2nd down now for North Texas. James Madison has scored again, so we still have a chance to cover our spread in that one. 17-7. A 10-point lead for JMU. I have JMU minus 13.5 in the first half. Or is it minus 13? Let's check that. See, that's a good question, Lou. Good question, Lou. I've got James Madison minus 13. So if they kick a field goal, that would be a push, which means we won't lose or win. If James Madison can score another touchdown, we would get us a winner there. Here's the bets I have for those of you that are morbidly curious about what I bet on. There you go. We've got the comment section bet on top, which is North Texas money line in the first half. I've got UNLV plus 6, Kennesaw State minus 3, North Texas Tulane over 66.5, James Madison minus 13 in the first half, Indiana tomorrow plus 4.5, Virginia minus 3.5 tomorrow, Western Michigan minus 2 tomorrow, North Texas minus 2.5 tonight, and Georgia minus 2.5 tomorrow. There you go. Screenshot that if you want to troll me on all the bets I lose. The 5 seed will beat North Tulane 100-7. North Tulane. You had to be on the call-in show last night to get that one, I guess. I kept talking, or was it the video I uploaded? I can't remember now, but I was talking about this game, North Texas and Tulane, but I kept saying North Tulane versus Texas. I'm a 5-star dummy. I'm a 5-star dummy. Here's me right here. Where am I at? Where am I? Here I am. 5-star dummy. I can see already I do have to fix the scroll on the bottom of the screen. That is incorrect. 9 a.m. kickoff show on YouTube. 4 p.m. on Patreon. 8 p.m. on YouTube. All right, there you go. Now that's right on the bottom. The streaming schedule tomorrow. 9 a.m. the kickoff show right here on this channel. 4 p.m. the Patreon stream where I'm giving away $500. Click the Patreon link in the description of this video. Get signed up for Patreon. It's $10. It's the best $10 you'll ever spend. Win $500 tomorrow, courtesy of Uncle Luke. And then 8 o'clock tomorrow night will be on YouTube for the Big Ten Championship game and the ACC JV Championship game. Yes, I got to turn the heat off. Turn the heat down to 70. Yeah, a little too warm on that deal there. Getting a little too warm. Y'all got me heated in this bitch. Y'all get me heated and riled up in here. Don't do that. 3rd and 2, and I think Troy's going to be half a yard short. Going to be 4th and less than a yard coming up for Troy with 5:40 to go in the first half. When's the last time a defensive-only player won the Heisman? Oh, shit. I don't even know. I don't even know. Conference championships are a joke. Well, Micah, you only say that because you're a Notre Dame fan, and Notre Dame is winless all time in conference championship games, so no wonder you don't like them, because you can't win them. That's why you don't like them. So I don't blame you, but Notre Dame's winless all time. Notre Dame has lost every conference championship game they've ever played in from the beginning of time till now. So that's why you don't like them. Thoughts on Penn State hiring Iowa State's coach? I think Matt Campbell's a good coach, but two problems. Number one, I don't think it matters who Penn State hires right now. I think they're going to be dog shit for the next 4 or 5 years. Number two, somebody that I watch on YouTube on occasion who is constantly wrong has spent an inordinate amount of time over the last 3 weeks hyping up Matt Campbell. And this particular person here, the more he hypes something up, the worse they are. So I might be wrong. I mean, I thought Matt Campbell was a good coach, but this person has hyped Matt Campbell beyond belief over the last 3 weeks or so. And every time they hype somebody up like that, they end up being fucking terrible. So that's not a good sign for Matt Campbell and Penn State. So I might be wrong about Matt Campbell being a good coach. If BYU loses, is Notre Dame in? Well, Notre Dame's in right now, unless, I mean, whether BYU wins or loses. I mean, if BYU wins, Notre Dame is out. If BYU loses, Notre Dame is in unless somebody jumps them. Like, I don't know, Miami. Breaking news, Texas canceled Michigan game in 27. I don't know if you're trolling or not, because Sarkisian said yesterday that they were keeping the Ohio State in the Michigan game. So unless that's changed from yesterday till today. I say the committee jumps Miami over Notre Dame. I think if BYU loses, that's what the committee will do. They will move Miami ahead of Notre Dame. And I think that's what they should do. I think they should move Miami ahead of Notre Dame anyway. I think Miami should have been ahead of Notre Dame the entire time. But if BYU loses, then the committee will have Notre Dame and Miami will be right next to each other at 10 and 11. And it would make it easy, I think, for them to then move Miami over Notre Dame if they choose to do it, which they should. But we'll find out Sunday. Yes, the winner of North Texas and Tulane is going to the playoffs. Right now, North Texas is up 7-0 with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Yes, the Tulane quarterback is the BYU. Retzlaff, or whatever his name is. Got kicked out of BYU for fornicating. Landed at Tulane. Turns out Tulane has no issue with fornicating, nor does any other decent college on the country. That's half the point of going to college, is to fornicate. But at BYU, for some reason, that's frowned upon. So, all right, putting you on the spot here. How would you rank the 3 new coaching hires in the Big 12? Eric Morris, Colin Klein, and Jimmy Rogers at Iowa State. I would go Eric Morris, Colin Klein, Jimmy Rogers in that order. Well, Troy all the way down inside the 5-yard line, about to score again here with 3 minutes to go in the first half. 17-7 is the score right now. The BYU was having real sex at BYU. That's what got him. Kicked out. He didn't actually get kicked out. He was going to be suspended for like, I don't know, 8 games or something. So he left on his own. I just checked and Texas has not canceled any games. Yeah, the guy that typed that has been a low-level troll around here for about 10 years. Second and goal for Troy. They're on the 2. Handoff. Looks like a touchdown to me, and it is. Going to be a 3-point game now, pending the extra point anyway. It'll be 3. Tulane has the ball now, down 7. North Texas got the ball first, went right down the field and scored. Turns out this Florida defense is dog shit here for John Sumrall. North Texas with the lead early in that one. Penetration State is celebrating in the showers over their coaching hire. Now that's a little wrong there. That's a little wrong there. I don't even want to think about that. Don't even want to think about that. Hey, Lou, if Michigan didn't schedule Oklahoma, they'd be a lock for the play. Yeah, exactly. Why not? Michigan should cry too, just like Texas is doing. The difference between Michigan and Texas is that Michigan doesn't have any losses to 4-win teams, like Texas does. I don't think Michigan State should have fired Jonathan Smith, so I'm not the right person to ask about that hire there. There was a penalty on that touchdown, didn't count, so now it's oh, never mind. I'm looking at a replay. The touchdown was good. Tulane still has the ball. They just went for it on 4th and 1 and converted, so keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10 for the Florida Green Wave. Florida currently losing 7-0 to something called North Texas. If Troy wins, Duke will, and UNLV wins, will UNLV be in the playoff? I think you mean if Duke wins. If Troy wins and Duke wins, will UNLV be in the playoff? Well, UNLV would have to win. Maybe they would get in, yeah. They might be the 5th highest conference champion. They're on right now. I don't have it on, but they are playing right now. And already losing 7-0 to Boise State. Boise State already beat them once this year. Beat them pretty bad, too. And this is a home game here. The Mountain West plays their conference championship games at the home stadium of the higher-seeded team. So this game's being played in Boise State, which is why I don't have it on TV. I can't look at that blue field for more than about 5 minutes. It gives me a headache. 2nd and 4 for Tulane inside the 10. The BYU is going to take off running, and he's going to pick up a first down at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal for Tulane. 2:25 to go in the first quarter. I got UNLV +6. Money line for Boise State got too high. I'm on UNLV +6 too. Ohio State versus Indiana is tough. I won't be surprised if Indiana. I think Indiana's legitimately good. I don't think it's a situation like last year. I think Indiana is much better than they were last year. Ohio State's coming off that emotional win over Michigan. I mean, I think Ohio State's the better team, but I took Indiana plus the points in that one. Now, if Ohio State shows up and gives them the business, Ohio State could win by 3 touchdowns. But I don't know. Part of me just wants it to be a good game, too, since it's on in prime time. So I decided to take the points in that one. Second and goal now for Tulane, just inside the 5. They're in a shotgun, 2 wide to the top of the screen. 1:20 to go in the first quarter. Quarterback draw. Whoa, huge hit at the 3-yard line. I mean, he sat the BYU down quick on that one. It's going to be 3rd and goal now from about the 3-yard line. Sorry, I'm tardy, Lou. I have my daughter tonight. That's an acceptable excuse, Justin. So I had marked you as absent, but I'm going to cross that out and change it to tardy. Now that is your 2nd tardy this month. So try to make sure you're on time tomorrow, okay? But I'm changing it. I had you marked as absent. I'm changing it to tardy. But that is 2 tardies for you this month, bud. Incomplete pass on 3rd and goal is going to make it 4th and goal now for the Florida Green Wave. I'm late because I took a nap. You were taking a nap at 6, 7 o'clock at night? That's not a nap, man. That's just going to bed. Naps are like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. 4th and goal. Tulane's lined up to go for it. Shotgun 2 wide to the top. They're on the 3. And flags. I think the play clock wound down to 0. Might be a delay of game here. Looks like Pat Summerall might not know what the fuck he's doing. Looks to me like Pat Summerall doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Florida might be down bad still. James Madison already underperforming before Napier even coaches a game. The latest thing Florida fans are bragging about is hiring Buster Faulkner from Georgia Tech. They tell me that means Georgia is screwed. Now, this is the same Buster Faulkner who's 0-3 against Georgia. Only scored 9 points against them last week and 0 touchdowns. I think Florida's next up next year, Lou. Summerall will find his way. Yeah, I hear that every 3 years when Florida hires a new coach. It's like clockwork at this point. With Georgia Tech talent. Yeah, that's my point. Georgia Tech's better than Florida, bud. Have you looked around the world of college football in the last 2 years? Georgia Tech's been better than Florida for 2 years straight, and he still can't beat Georgia. So, don't know what to tell you there. Check the PayPal, says the man. I see. I'm going to do it this time before I forget like last time and I felt like an asshole. Big game tomorrow. I had a bag on Bama, cashed out, and just rebet Bama for a bag. Fuck my life. So you changed your mind and then changed your mind again? Do you still want to do our bet, or do you want me to send that back to you? If Bama loses and does not make the playoffs, does the SEC revolt? Well, that's not going to happen. Bama's in no matter what. We're locked in. Okay, Joe. I guess there's a small chance if Alabama loses 45-10 or something that they could drop. But I mean, I don't think in my wildest dreams as a Georgia fan, I don't think Georgia's winning that game 45-10. So I don't think Bama's going to drop any. Um, as far as the SEC revolting, if Bama loses and falls out of the playoffs, you'll never see another conference championship game. So that'll be the result of that, is that that'll be the immediate death of conference championship games. You'll just never see another one. But I don't think that's going to happen. 4th and goal. Touchdown BYU, or the Jew Lane, or whatever we're calling him this year. But we're going to have a tie game here with 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. 7-7. Each team's had the ball once. Defense optional. Tied at 7 here. Troy has the ball back, only down 3. With a minute to go in the first half. Pass complete behind the line and tackled right away. Blown up by the corner for a loss on the play. Going to be 2nd and long now for Troy. 17-14 the score there. Troy trails by 3. Here comes the extra point for the Florida Green Wave. And it's good. All tied at 7. Timeout on the 3-yard line on 4th down. Billy 2.0. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is that true? Man. Please don't tell me Summerall is Billy Napier 2.0. Can he at least be McElwain 2.0? At least McElwain got you to the SEC championship game before he lost. Broke your heart. Hey, Lou, what is your largest bet to date on a single game? I've bet $1,000 on a game twice in my lifetime. That's the most I've ever bet on one game, which for me is a huge amount of money because I normally bet between $25 and $50 a game, sometimes $100 a game. So the $1,000 thing was a lot. For me. I don't normally do that. SMU made it despite losing last year. Yes, they did. What do you got on Sleeper this week, Lou? Nothing yet. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., I'm going to get y'all to help me make a Sleeper pick, though. They have a new promotion, Sleeper does, where you can win $100. Regardless of if you hit your bet or not. You don't even have to hit your bet. I'll go over the details tomorrow at 9 a.m. But basically, I'm going to get the chat to help me pick a sleeper play. And then anybody that tails that play that we do on the 9 a.m. show, you screenshot it. There's an email address I'll give you. You send a screenshot of your bet, tailing my bet, to that email address. And they're going to randomly pick names and give away $100. Not me, but sleeper. How did I won both of them. Both of them were trolls in the comment section that got me riled up. And people show up in the comment section all the time and type dumb shit like, I'll bet you $1 million, blah, 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 this. They're just talking shit. They don't mean it at all. They're just trying to get me riled up. Twice it worked. With people who were like, I'll bet you $1,000, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't think they were serious. I thought they were fucking around. And so I said, fine, here's my PayPal, here's my Cash App. Send the $1,000 right now, and it's a bet. And twice people actually did it and sent the $1,000. But I got lucky and won both bets. One was on the Georgia LSU SEC championship game in 2021. Or 2022. 2022, I guess that was. 2020, yeah, the 2022 SEC championship game between Georgia and LSU. I won that one. I don't remember what the second one was on. Napier is nowhere near McElwain, Muschamp, or Mullen. That's probably accurate. He's probably the worst of those three. Best comment section on YouTube. Yeah, this is the best comment section on YouTube. I'm pretty average. What I do is pretty run of the mill. Nothing real special about me, but this comment section is amazing. There's no doubt about it at all. Lou, whatever happened to Deep Barat, the Texas guy? I don't know. He stopped coming around here, and then for a while I would see him on Twitter. But I haven't seen him in years now that you mention it. I forgot about him actually. Yeah, it seems it's been years since I've seen him, so I don't know. I don't know. Go Vols, next year is ours. Yep, you've been saying that every offseason for 38 years. Meanwhile, you haven't won anything since the late 19th century. I mean, you haven't even won the SEC since the late 1900s. So, but yeah, I know every offseason next year's the year for Tennessee. I believe me, y'all are the wait till next year champions of the universe. Under a minute to go in the first half now. JMU still up by 3, 17-14. Troy with an injured player, so that's going to give us a timeout there. North Texas now. Each team's had the ball once. Each team has scored, so we're tied 7-7. North Texas and Tulane. North Texas has the ball back now after that Tulane touchdown run. They're on their own 23. Back to throw. Near the sideline and incomplete. That's going to bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 now, with 8 seconds to go in the first quarter. Is Texas A&M out of the weird back rankings? No, you have to win your conference or win a playoff game. So Notre Dame got off of the list last year. Notre Dame had been on the weird back rankings. They got off last year because they, of course, won a playoff game, won multiple playoff games. No, Texas A&M not off it unless they win a playoff game. Fun fact, Ohio State has beat Indiana 25 years in a row. Maybe it gets broken. I hope not, though. All-time wins is 80-12 Ohio State. Well, as an Ohio State fan, you should know that streaks are made to be broken because you just broke one against your daddy, Michigan, which, of course, owns you in every conceivable way. But you still beat them. You still beat them last week. So, I mean, I think Ohio State probably wins a close one, but I think it's going to be a good game. Want to wish your Bulldogs good luck tomorrow. I want it to be a great game, but I'm an Alabama homer, so I'm going with Bama, says Shag on the play. Yeah, you got to root for your team, man. I get it. I think it's going to be a good game. They usually are. Well, they're not usually good if you're a Georgia fan. They're usually close games is what I mean. They're usually close games. 4th and 30 for Troy. They're going to have to punt it away here. 42 seconds to go in the first half. So James Madison will have about 30 seconds to try to score before the end of the half. They've got 2 timeouts left. But they just took one. James Madison just took a timeout before the punt. I don't know why they would do that. Now they're only going to have 1 timeout left when they get the ball back. That was kind of dumb there. Kind of stupid and retarded, too, there from James Madison. Tulane is in Louisiana. Yes, it is. In New Orleans. Lou, do you think Georgia makes the 4-team playoffs in 2012? Five-star dummy. Boise State up 14-0 on your UNLV team, Uncle Lou. Yeah, Boise State beat the shit out of them in the regular season, and this game's at Boise State, so Boise State likely to win again. It's a valid question. Great team. We didn't have a 4-team playoff in 2012. What do you mean did they make the playoffs in 2012? Napier calling the plays for James Madison tonight. That timeout proves it. I honestly think Ohio State wins in a blowout. I think Indiana is legit, but Ohio State is just that good. I don't know. It might be a 5-star dummy. Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Yeah, I'm on UNLV too, plus 6.5, I think. Would they have made it in 2012? Oh, I don't know. You'd have to look at the final rankings. I think they finished I think they were in the top 4. I know they would have made the national title game had they beat Bama in the SEC championship game, so they must have been ranked. I don't remember what Georgia was ranked when they played Bama in the SEC championship game, but the winner of the SEC championship game went on to play Notre Dame that year. in the national title game. So I'm assuming Georgia was in the top 4, but you don't have to ask me if a team would have made a 4-team playoff in some past year. You can just go look at the rankings in that year and know for yourself. I'm not going to look it up for you. I don't remember what Georgia was ranked, but it was probably in the top 4. UJ was 3rd. Then yes, they would have been in a 4-team playoff. I mean, I don't know why you. I mean, what is this? Ask Jeeves. Hey Lou, hoping for a Georgia win and a BYU loss tomorrow. Go Utes. I think you're going to get both of those things. I think you're going to. So I think you'll be happy tomorrow, Carter. Because I think you're going to get both of those things. Noah Denubalo. I didn't name you, bud. Somebody else did that. So if I pronounce that wrong, that's not on me. But thank you for the super chat, buddy. What's censored in the background? Nothing. This is a live video. This isn't edited with something censored. What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. The dog is in the living room. No, this is a Los Angeles hat. Drop the OnlyFans link. You can't drop an OnlyFans link in a YouTube comment section. They don't like that. They get mad. It's fuzzy by the tree. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing censored. I mean, are you talking about the Christmas tree lights reflecting on the wall? I mean, I don't know what it is you're talking about. There's nothing censored there. That's the Christmas tree lights reflecting on the wall. So, does this seem like a channel that censors things to you? Lou, are you going to any World Cup games? I'll let you know tomorrow afternoon when they announce the matches. I'm trying to go to one of the opening round games in Atlanta. Hopefully, I'm going to try to go. Spain is playing in Atlanta. Portugal is playing in Atlanta. I can't remember there's a lot of teams playing in Atlanta, but as far as the teams I would want to go see, Spain, Portugal. Anyway, I've got a list here, and tomorrow they're going to announce which. All I know right now is that the teams that are playing in Atlanta, we don't know the dates of which games they're playing in until tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to try to get tickets tomorrow for my son for Christmas. My son wants to go to a World Cup game, so I'm going to try to get tickets tomorrow once they announce who's playing where, what day, and what time. USA games are in West Coast. Yes. Yeah. Plus, my son wants to go see good soccer players. He doesn't want to go see Team USA. I mean, I'm going to pull for Team USA, but they're dog shit. Now, they should win their group, though. They got their draw. They got a lucky draw today. USA did. Did y'all watch the draw earlier today? The USA is dog shit, but so is all the teams in their group are dog shit, too. Australia, Paraguay. So the Team USA should, at a minimum, advance out of their group. Really, they should win their group. Worst case scenario, they should come in second in their group and advance to the round of 32, the knockout games. Do they have to play Trinidad Chambliss? No. Luckily, Trinidad Chambliss didn't make it in. USA winning it all this year? Well, the World Cup is next year, so it doesn't do them any good to pretend to win it this year. Trump was there today at the World Cup thing they were doing, and he said that we have to change the name of football to something else because it doesn't make any sense that we call football when really soccer is football. So Trump says we have to change the name of football. He said soccer is the real football. So I guess it's a good thing he's not running for president again. Sorry I haven't been able to watch too much YouTube, so I haven't kept up. Have you shared your thoughts on Will Stein to Kentucky? Think it's good, bad, or meh? I think for Kentucky, it's about the best they can hope for. A hot young coordinator who's been around a winning program and knows what it takes to get there. Look at Tulane. Dang. All the way down inside the 40 in that. A fumble, a scoop, and a big run is going to have Tulane in business here with 13:24 to go in the first half, still tied at 7. First turnover of the game there. What were we talking about? Oh, Will Stein. Yeah. Good offensive mind, young, up-and-coming coordinator, been at a program that knows how to win. So he's seen what it takes to get to the top of college football or near the top. Oregon's a good team. They haven't won it all, but they're a really good team and program. So now it's going to be, can he portal the right players? Kentucky has to take the Ole Miss path, right? Kentucky's not going to recruit in the top 10, 15 every year. That's never going to happen at Kentucky. Similar to, it's like it's not going to happen at Ole Miss, right? You got to do what Lane Kiffin did. You got to portal in the right players. You got to get a good coaching staff and go from there. But I'm not trying to shit on Kentucky, but in the pecking order of coaching jobs, Kentucky is pretty low. So I think considering that, Will Stein was about that's pretty good, I think. That doesn't mean he'll be a good head coach. We don't know. He's never been a head coach. Big run from Tulane all the way down inside the 10 to the 6 or 7 yard line. Going to be first and goal Tulane with 13 minutes to go in the second quarter. Kennesaw State now up 10-0 over Jacksonville State. That one's in the third quarter. Halftime over here. On the James Madison game. UNLV down 14-0 on the road at Boise State in the Mountain West Conference Championship game. Georgia is trying to sue Damon Wilson. Thoughts? I don't know the details of the contract or whatever, so I don't know who's in the right or who's in the wrong or what, but if he signed a contract saying that if I leave, I'll pay back this amount of money, then he should pay back that amount of money. But I don't know, I don't know the details of the lawsuit. I know people have been asking, fans have been asking for this forever since NIL started. If you're going to pay these kids all this money, then put them under contract. And if they leave, they should have to give the money back or not get the money or a percentage of the money or be held to their contract or whatever. So I guess Georgia's going to be the guinea pig. Now, Georgia will lose. If this goes to court, Georgia will lose, I think. Because the court, I think, is going to do the same thing they've been doing in all these cases. They're going to say he's not an employee. You can't tell him what to do. So I have a feeling Georgia will lose. Lou is on the AOC bandwagon. I don't even know what that is. Should do the same for coaches. They do. They've been doing the same for coaches for decades. If a coach is under contract and leaves the school, there's a buyout that has to be paid. So it looks like you agree with Georgia that he should have to pay it back. Yeah, I don't know what the AOC bandwagon is or why it should be banned or why you want it banned. I don't even know what you're talking about. I think you don't know what you're talking about because you typed out bandwagon. I think what you meant to type out was bandwagon. Billy Napier to James Madison, good for him. Quit saying Lou's a liberal. He's not an idiot. You don't have any liberal views? What are you anti-gambling? You think weed should be illegal? Do you like Social Security and Medicare? I mean, there's plenty of liberal ideas that I'm in favor of. Kennesaw State 10, Jacksonville State 0. 6 minutes to go in the third. A handoff, pretty good gain too. Going to pick up the first down and then some. Gain of about 10 that time. Jacksonville State with the ball. The dumbasses are the ones that read political news every day that's designed to get you mad, and then you spend all day mad. Those are the dummies. The ones that are falling for it. Not me. I'm not falling for it. Hey, I would lobe to see game day dab Rios. What in the fuck? Buddy, did you have a stroke when you were typing that? I would lobe to see game day dab Rios with Lou. I'd love to see a complete sentence typed out in plain English, but we don't always get what we want. Red helmet with the C. What team is that? This is the Ivy League up here. So what is that? Brown, Cornell. I think that's Cornell. Harvard, Penn, Princeton, Yale. Made chili last week. No, made it on Monday of this week. Yeah, it was cold. It's been cold and rainy here this week. So we cooked. I made a big pot of chili on Monday, and ate it for 3 days. I mean, ate other stuff too, but we ate it for dinner on Monday, and then I had it for lunch on Tuesday and Wednesday. Where's Dartmouth? Right there. Lou picks against UJ until the game starts. I picked Georgia this week. I don't know what you're talking about. And the game hasn't started yet. So that's fake news and alternative facts that you typed there. Dalton, Georgia. Are you going to be making carpet? Would you get a job in a carpet factory? I don't know anything about Dalton, Georgia, other than that's where they make carpet. Other than that, I don't know anything about it. Stop mistreating Uncle Lou. Who's mistreating me? I better not find out somebody's mistreating me or I'm going to be angry. And you wouldn't like me when I was angry. Here comes a field goal attempt from Jacksonville State, but I think he missed it, and he did miss it. Kennesaw State still up 10-0, which is good for the Pay Lou movement. We've got Kennesaw State minus 2.5 in that one. Tulane and North Texas, we've got the over. And what was the comment section bet on this game? Was it North Texas to win the first half? Is that what it was? And then I've got over the point total for the game. Offsides on the defense on Tulane. What channel is Kennesaw State on? Uh, CBS Sports Network. If you're 193 and 151 against the spread, you're one of the best sports bettors on the planet. You should quit your job and invest every dime you have in sports betting. That would be one of the best percentages against the spread on the planet. So, one of two things is true. The best sports bettor on the planet has an anonymous account in my comment section, or what you typed is not accurate. 2nd and 12. North Texas goes deep. Oh, nearly intercepted and then nearly caught. That could have been a wild play there. Ends up falling incomplete, though. 3rd and 12 now. 11-16 to go in the first half. 14-7, Tulane on top. Weed today, 1,000 times more potent. It's leading to a generation of highly unmotivated kids with anxiety and panic disorders. Medicinal, not recreational. Yeah, you sound like everybody when they turn 40. You know, the get off my lawn crowd. Yeah, we did it, but now no one needs to do it. The new stuff is no good. If you could grow good weed here, it would have been legalized a long time ago. That's the bottom line. Growing weed is easy. Yeah, but growing good weed ain't easy. 4th and 28 after another penalty backs North Texas up. They're going to have to punt it away. Punter on his own 5-yard line. Pretty good punt, though. Fielded all the way back on the 41. Tulane still going to have pretty good field position, though, on their own 41, up 14-7 with 10:25 to go in the second quarter. Lou, do you prefer long carpet or short carpet or bare floors? Bare floors. I don't mind carpet in the bedrooms, to be honest with you. But generally speaking, as far as what you're hinting around at there, then bare floors, yeah. Weed is for druggies. So is Tylenol and alcohol and hydrocodone and oxycodone and Ambien and Xanax and Ritalin and Adderall, Dimetap, cough medicine, NyQuil. Sugar and caffeine are drugs, yes. I don't smoke weed. I can count on one hand the number of times I've ever smoked weed. I don't like it. But it's ridiculous that it's illegal. It's it's just completely ridiculous. Doing weed leads to meth. Driving cars leads to accidents. Better ban cars, too. Georgia suing players for transferring now. Well, they're suing him for breach of contract. I don't know the details. Weed makes you content with being a loser. Right. That loser, Joe Rogan. Do we not regulate driving in cars? Yeah. And if weed was legal, We'd regulate that, just like we regulate alcohol and cigarettes. What's your point? Just smoke crack like the Tennessee fans. Kennesaw State with the ball near midfield, 3rd and 9, back to throw. Caught short of the first down, going to have to make somebody miss. He does, and picks up the first down inside the 35 to the 33. First down, Kennesaw State in Jacksonville State territory. They're up 10-0 in the third quarter. Some people using weed do commit more crimes, but not all. Some people doing anything commit more crimes than some people doing. What does that mean? What does that even mean? Some people that smoke weed commit crimes. Yeah, so some people that don't smoke weed commit crimes. Should we outlaw not smoking weed? This guy just robbed a bank and he doesn't smoke weed. That's it. We're outlawing not smoking weed. What the fuck? Tulane pass complete. First down across midfield inside the 45. Ridden out of bounds at the 43. 1st and 10 Tulane. They're up 14-7 with 10:15 to go in the first half. Yeah, UNLV is getting walked. If every team fan base was a drug, what would UGA be? Alabama, Texas A&M? I have no idea. I have no idea, buddy. I'm sweating North Texas -2.5. I think I had that too. I also have the over 60 or something. What is the deal? Weed will be legal in every state within 10 years. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about down at Bible Belt. I don't know. There's still places down here you can't buy beer on Sunday. There's still dry counties down here. Lou, have you ever tried whippets? No. I've had enough problems. I've smoked marijuana less than 5 times probably in my entire life. I've never done anything else. As far as illegal drugs go. Isn't weed in the Bible? I don't know. But even if it was, what would that prove? There's a bush on fire talking to people in the Bible too. I don't know what that would prove even if weed was in the Bible. Most counties are dry. I don't know about that. Is that I don't most is over 50%. I don't think that's true. Second half underway. James Madison up 3, 17-14. Second half just underway. 2nd and 6. James Madison's got the ball to start the third quarter. Tulane here looking at a 2nd and 10. Quarterback draw. by the Tulane QB, and he's going to pick up a first down and then scamper out of bounds. 1st and 10, Tulane. 2nd and 6, James Madison, up by 3. They're on their own 40. A handoff right up the middle, spin move, close to a first down. Going to be about half a yard short, it looks like. 3rd and less than a yard coming up for JMU. Hey, Lou, some people smoke weed and commit crimes. Yeah. Thank you, Josh. Poole says, Boomer Sooner, Lou, and Go Dogs. I haven't watched your championship pick show yet. What are a couple of keys to a Georgia win? Thanks. Well, if you look at the first game compared to this one, Georgia's got to find a way to get some pressure on Ty Simpson. They didn't do that at all in the first game. In fact, Georgia didn't do that to anybody they played the first 6 or 7 games of the season. Their pass rush was one of the worst in the country through the first half of the season. At one point, they were next to last in the country in sacks. Now, to their credit, the last 4 or 5 games, it did turn around. I don't know what they did, if it was development, if it was a change in scheme or philosophy or what they did, but a lot more pass rush from Georgia the last 4 or 5 games of the season than there was the first 6 or 7. And they're going to have that against Ty Simpson. They can't let him sit in the pocket like they did the first time. You know, Alabama was 13 for 16 on 3rd down conversions in that first game against Georgia. That's out of this world. That's unbelievably high percentage 3rd down conversions, 13 out of 16. Because they can't run the ball, Bama. So they were in a lot of 3rd downs. They can't run the ball. And they're still not going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be without Jam Miller. So you get them to 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, you got to get off the fucking field. And one of the ways to do that is put some pressure on Ty Simpson, disrupt his timing. They got to find a way to do that. Cuevas may be out as well. I think he is out. He's out. I think Jan Miller's out. LT Overton is out. I mean, everybody's got players out. It's week 15. Georgia's got players out too. So I'm not trying to hear that as no excuse on either side. Georgia's without their starting center, which, if the second half against Georgia Tech is any indication, could be a massive problem. We'll see. But if Georgia loses, don't expect to hear me blaming the fact that we were without a center. Everybody's without players this time of year. You got to put the next guy in. That's why you recruit more than one center. Raining in this Tulane North Texas game. I don't know if it's been raining the whole time or not. I just now noticed it. I don't think it was raining in the first quarter, though. I could be wrong. Sometimes when you watch it on TV, it's hard to tell if it's raining unless they do a certain shot. But it's obviously raining in this Tulane North Texas game now. Lou, if you were invisible for 10 minutes, what would you do right now? I'd stand right here and watch these football games. Same thing I'm doing now. Invisible or not, I wouldn't miss these games. Thank you, Make It Happen, for the super chat. Ghetto Streamlabs, thank you for the super chat. I was today years old when I learned MJK, Maynard James Keenan, and Danny Carey were half of the band Green Jello. Also, how long until Auburn is competitive in the SEC again? Good luck tomorrow. I mean, I guess it depends on what you think competitive. I mean, you can make the argument they were competitive this year. A lot of their losses were one-score games, including the Bama game. Bama, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Vandy, I think, were one-score games. And even the Georgia game, they had a lead at halftime and only lost by 10. So, I mean, you could make the case they were kind of competitive this year. As far as getting, over the hump in terms of wins, a lot of that is going to depend on who Golish brings in as a staff, who they're able to keep on the roster. Can they keep Cam Coleman? Can they keep Deuce Knight? Those are obviously got to be top of the to-do list there offensively. And then the schedule plays a part in it too. But there's no reason Auburn this year shouldn't have had 7 or 8 wins when you look at the players and the talent that they have. And that's why Hugh Freeze is gone. He's not gone because he couldn't recruit. He's gone because he did recruit and didn't get the results to match the recruiting. So, We'll see with Alex Golesh. I do think the offense will be better under Alex Golesh, especially with Deuce Knight at quarterback, than what we saw from Auburn this year, and the sort of terrible quarterback play that Auburn had for the 3 years under Hugh Freeze. What game are you looking at going to for the World Cup in Atlanta? I'm also going to USA versus Australia in Seattle. I don't know. We won't know till tomorrow who's playing on what days in Atlanta. I know the countries that are playing, but we don't know what days they'll be in June. So I'm waiting until tomorrow, when the match schedule is put out. I want to try to go see Spain, no matter who they're playing. Spain is playing there, but don't know the day yet, and don't know who they're playing on what day yet. But Spain and Portugal are both playing in Atlanta in the group stage. Either one of them would be okay. Can Duke make the college football playoff if Troy beats JMU? Yes. Will they? I don't know, but it could. That's the only chance they have, is for that to happen. Thought on Billy? Great stream as always. Go Canes. Billy who? Thought on Billy. Billy who? Billy the Kid? What? Kennesaw State still up 10-0 over Jacksonville State. And Jacksonville State is backed up inside their own 1 yard line. Movement on the line of scrimmage. Both sides moved. Let's see who moved first, though. I'm not sure. Referees trying to sort it out. Going to be a false start on Jacksonville State. Not much of a penalty, though, when you're already on your the 6-inch line. They're already inside the 1, so you can't really do anything but back the ball up an inch or two. They're literally on their own goal line, 1st and 10. 10-0, Kennesaw State with the lead. 12:40 to go in the 4th quarter. Shotgun, quarterback standing in his own end zone. Motion, snap, handoff right up the middle, hitting the end zone and tackled for a safety. It's going to be 12-0 Kennesaw State. Rudy's jailer. What's up, buddy? He says, good morning, Lou. Can't wait for the committee to leave my Irish in the playoffs over Miami and hear everyone cry. We don't even deserve it over them, but I'll take it. My priest said, suck it, chat. Damn. Damn, he hit you with the priest comment at the end there. Third and 2 for North Texas, pass complete, but I don't know if he got the first down or not. They did get it. 1st and 10 on the 25. North Texas wants to go quick now. Snapped again. Play action. Throw. Complete on an out route. Picks up about 11 or 12 for another first down and then shoved out of bounds. 4:08 to go in the first half. Tulane up 17-7 over North Texas. We need more points scored here. Need more points. 4 wide now for North Texas. 3:49 to go. It's pouring down rain. Well, I guess I can kiss my over bet goodbye in this game with all this rain. That's going to make it a lot harder to score. There's a bad throw there. Sailed over the head of a wide open receiver, incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up now for North Texas. I remember when everyone thought Florida was like the it thing in the SEC. I barely remember that. That was back in the 90s and the early 2000s, but yeah. Lou, did you know Ra Thomas is playing for Troy? Yes, I did know that. He had a catch earlier. 2nd and 10. North Texas keeps it on the ground, gain of about 5. Going to be 3rd down now. Brandon Burchell says Sark claimed that if his 9-3 Texas team was a 10-2 SEC team, they would be a playoff shoe-in, but Vandy is 10-2, SEC being left out. What am I missing? You're missing the fact that he's ignoring why he's out of the playoff, which has nothing to do with his loss to Ohio State and everything to do with his loss against a 4-win Florida team. When Texas lost to Ohio State, they only dropped to 7th. If they wouldn't have lost to Florida, they'd still be in the top 10. But they did lose to Florida, and that's why they're not in the playoff. Tulane picks up a sack here. That's going to put North Texas in a bad way on 4th and 12. They're going to have to punt it away. 2:25 to go. If Tulane scores here to end the half, this thing could end up being a blowout. They get a really good roll on this punt. It's going to roll all the way down inside the 16-yard line. 1st and 10, Tulane on their own 16 with 2:09 to go in the first half. Texas claims Vandy as a top 10 win, but also says they're terrible at the same time. Yeah, that and the fact that it's not a top 10 win. Wins, at least how the committee looks at them and how I look at them too, wins are based on where a team is ranked now, not where they were ranked when you beat them. So, like when Virginia beat Florida State, that's not a top 10 win. Beating Florida State's not a top 10 win. Florida State was top 10 when that game was played, but it's not a top 10 win. Yeah, I mean, I don't fault Sarkisian for, stumping for his own team, but they just don't have the resume to get in. There's too many teams ahead of them that have better cases for the playoffs than they do. You think Penn State will fire their AD for their coaching disaster? They should. He fucked that up completely and totally. Never should have fired James Franklin, to be honest. I mean, and then so that was wrong. And then he fucked up the coaching search on top of that. The only ranks that matter are week 14 and 15, says Huge Banjo. Yeah, I mean, does anybody think Georgia Tech has a top 10 win for beating Clemson? No. 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 UNLV scored. Well, god dang, they just won't give up, will they? 21-6 now. I guess it'll be 21-7 after the extra point. Yep, there it is. 21-7. UNLV just won't give up. Catholic is not true Christian. I love watching Christians argue over who's more Christian than the other. I love that shit. My interpretation of the fairy tale is more right than your interpretation of the fairy tale. My interpretation of the fairy tale is better. I love that shit. I love that. JMU still up 3, 17-14, so it's a good game. They've got the ball, going to be second down, coming up on 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, 17-14, JMU with the lead. 2nd and 2 coming up now for James Madison. And James Madison picks up another first down. Kennesaw State up 12-0 after that safety they just got on Jacksonville State. They've now got the ball. 2nd and 8. No, Jack State has the ball back. 2nd and 8. Throws incomplete near the sideline. 3rd and 8 coming up for Jacksonville State. 12-0 Kennesaw State with the lead. Uncle Lou, best college football caller and soul crusher on YouTube. I'm an amazing college football caller. There's no doubt about it. Oh, that's got to be a horse collar. There we go. They're going to get North Texas with a horse collar. It's pretty obvious one there. That's going to give Tulane a free 15 yards. 3rd and 8. Jacksonville State quarterback's going to scramble and pick up a first down into the red zone around the 23-yard line. 1st and 10, Jacksonville State with a scoring opportunity here. Would be their first of the game. They're down 12-0 with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. My case was for Vandy at 10-2 to get into the playoff. I don't give a damn about Texas. Yeah, Vandy's not getting in at 10-2. Who you going to take out? You can't put them in without taking somebody out, and anybody you take out is going to have just as much of a claim as Vandy does. So when you say Vandy should be in, that's only half of an argument or half of a sentence. You got to tell me Vandy should be in and whatever team should be out. I'm the most religious person here. Alabama should be out. Well, Alabama and Vandy have the same record, and Alabama beat Vandy. So how are you going to take Alabama out but not Vandy when they have the same record and Alabama beat them? Vandy should be 10, BYU 11, Miami 12, Notre Dame 13. Bama versus Indiana. What would Lou do? I would pick Indiana in that one. How do they see Division 3 and 2 football playoffs? I have no idea. No idea. Because I've never watched a Division 3 or Division 2 game, and I probably never will. How did Vandy get so good? They hired the right coach, who then hired the right staff, and they hit a couple of home runs in the portal. How to do it's not really a secret. It's just being able to do it that's the hard part. Third and 6 with a minute to go. Boy, the last couple of minutes of this first half is really dragging on in this Tulane game. 17-7, Tulane with the ball on the North Texas 44, 3rd and 6. They're not in field goal range, so they need some yards here. Pass complete, but tackled short of a first down. Fumbled, but out of bounds. It's going to be 4th and about 3 or 4 with 57 seconds to go. We'll see what Tulane's going to do here on this 4th down. James Madison, interception. Troy returned all the way down inside the 30 to the 28. Quarterback got hit from behind as he was throwing the ball. It fluttered up in the air right into the arms of a Troy defender. And Troy, only down 3, is going to have an opportunity to get back in this game here. They'll take the lead with a touchdown, tie it up with a field goal, and they're already in field goal range following this turnover. So it's going to be a good one over here. Real crime is a group of 5 team getting an auto bid. Yeah, the group of 5 should have their own playoff. Touchdown, Tulane. Or is it going to be down inside the 5? North Texas, I think, muffed this punt. Tulane punted it, hit off a North Texas player, and it was recovered by Tulane inside the 5-yard line. But the referees are talking about it now. This would be a huge play for Tulane. Yep. The punt hit a North Texas player and was recovered by Tulane. Here's the replay. Let's see what happened. I was watching the James Madison game. Punting the ball from around midfield. The ball clearly hit a North Texas player, but it looked like he was pushed into the ball. But they didn't call that, and they've given the ball to Tulane inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal, Tulane, with 50 seconds to go in the first half. Tulane's got a chance to break this game open here. North Texas is going to take a timeout. Yeah, you can't advance a muff punt, so it's going to be 1st and goal, Tulane, around the 7 or 8 yard line, wherever it is where he touched the ball. Kick catch interference was missed, bad, but I need the over. Yeah, I took the over too, so I'm not going to complain about the missed call either. Troy ends up having to settle for a field goal after their interception. It'll be a 46-yarder to try to tie it up with 4:29 to go. Right hash. Snap, hold, kick. He pushed it right. Wow, no good. Troy with a chance to tie it up after a James Madison interception, but they go 3 and out and then miss the field goal. JMU dodges one there. They still have a 3-point lead, 17-14, but there's still a ton of time to go. 4:24 in the third. Close game there. Lou, do you think Bama makes the 12 spot if they lose a close one tomorrow? No, I think they make the 10 spot if they lose a close one tomorrow. Troy down bad on that one. 1st and 10 for Tulane on the 13-yard line. Quarterback draw all the way down to the 5. It's going to be 2nd and about 3. 40 seconds to go. The clock's ticking. Tulane's got all 3 timeouts, but they're in no hurry. They got plenty of time to try to get it in the end zone here. They don't want to give North Texas the ball back, so they're not calling a timeout here. Now they are going to call a timeout. 28 seconds to go. Tulane takes the first timeout. Mountain West Commissioner hates Boise State. I can't wait for that witch to hand us the trophy as we walk out on them bums to the Pac-12. Go Broncos. I don't know. Why does he hate Boise State? I don't know what's going on with that. Because they're leaving? Is that why he hates them? What is it, still 21-7? 28-7 now. Boise State has scored again. You're one play ahead of my Fubo TV showing Sunbelt Championship on ESPN, so I'll pause you for one play. All right, sounds fair. Some people have paused me till the end of time. Just don't watch anymore. So I'll take the 1 second deal. Second and 3 now for Tulane. They're on the 5-yard line, 6-yard line. Pistol formation with 2 wide. Motion. Snap. Handoff. Down to the 2-yard line. Might be a first down. It is. It's going to be first and goal, Tulane at the 2. Another timeout taken with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Yeah, SMU, bad look for them last week in a must-win game. They just shit the bed, gave up that touchdown drive with a minute to go after they finally took the lead. That was just piss poor against a bad Cal team. Yeah, Florida hired Buster Faulkner. Is Auburn playing in the playoffs or the bowl game? No. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. Who is when? What is that? Somebody's name? I don't know who Wynn is. Never heard of him. Steve Wynn? The guy that built all the casinos out in Vegas? He retired. He lives in Florida now. Lou with Ohio State emotional win in rivalry think they get beat by Indiana. It's hard for me to imagine Ohio State losing that game. I just think they're too talented. But if they do, I think it's for the reason that you said. And I do think it could be a close game. I took Indiana and the points, so I'm hoping for a close game. Tulane quarterback rolls right, throws incomplete. That's going to bring up third and goal now. Lou, you're the man. Don't ever forget it. So I can promise you I won't forget that. If I get dementia and Alzheimer's both at the same time, and all I remember is one thing, it will be that I'm the man. Yeah. Lou, will you ever retire and move to Florida? No and no. It's a no on both of those. Quarterback draw. I think he's short. He is short. Tulane takes a timeout with 3 seconds to go. I'm on the over. I want Tulane to go for it here. 4th and goal from the half-yard line. I want them to go for it because I need points. JMU fumbled? Did they? Oh, yeah, I see it now. I'm watching the replay. Fighting for extra yards up near midfield and the ball gets stripped out. Yeah, that's going to be a fumble. They've turned the ball over on back-to-back possessions now, James Madison has. 17-14. They still have a 3-point lead. Troy missed a field goal after that last interception. Let's see what they can do with it this time. 3:04 to go in the third. They just forced their second turnover in a row. Sorry to say it, chat. Notre Dame will get in. The committee just dropped us to 10 to protect Bama. They will weasel us in. This is all for ratings and drama. Yeah, that's why they put SMU and Indiana in last year. Ratings. Ratings. If Notre Dame gets in and you and anybody disagrees with it, and I do, then it's just because we think the committee got it wrong. It's just because they voted differently than we think they should have voted. There is no conspiracy involving ratings or whatever else it is you're thinking there. I mean, I can promise you that the athletic director of Nebraska or whoever else these people are that are on the committee don't give a fuck about ESPN's TV ratings. They're not voting based off of TV ratings. If they were, Indiana and SMU would not have been in last year. They would have put Alabama in over SMU last year if ratings was their goal. If you don't agree with the final rankings, then they just got it wrong, according to you. There is no mass conspiracy. I mean, y'all used to tell me all they wanted to do was prop up the SEC. That was the whole goal of the playoff committee, was just to put SEC teams in. And the SEC starts getting left out. So you're switching to this other conspiracy theory that they're either pro Notre Dame or pro ratings, or it's just one conspiracy theory after another with you people. It's not a conspiracy. If you disagree with the rankings that come out on Sunday, then they just got the rankings wrong, according to, I mean, it's just, that's all there is to it. Touchdown Tulane. They went for it on 4th and goal from the 6-inch line, and the BYU crossed the plane, or so says the referee. And that's going to be a touchdown. That's going to make it 23-7. Extra point will make it 24. No time left on the clock. FIFA 26, woo. Yeah, I watched the drawing today. We'll find out tomorrow when and where everybody's playing, and I'm going to see if I can get some tickets to a game in Atlanta. Troy quarterback injured. Yeah, they're out looking at him now. 1:38 to go, 4th and 5 for Troy. They're down 17-14, third quarter. Get you one too. I'm getting two for me, and I'm going to take my son. Part of his Christmas present. I hope, if I can afford it. I don't even know. I don't know how much. By the time they announce who's playing, we'll see what that does to the ticket prices. But hopefully they're affordable for me. Make the bookie pay for it. I ain't been able to make no money this week. I think I'm up $50-something for the week right now. That's it. And we're losing these bets today. We're fixing to lose. The comment section had North Texas to win the first half. That's obviously a loser. So the comment section is 0-1. The other bets I have are, I had James Madison -13 in the first half. That already lost. We might win the Kennesaw State. I had Kennesaw State -2.5. They're up 5 with about 5 minutes to go, but Jacksonville State's got the ball and they're driving. And I had Boise State +6.5, and they're getting blown out. Well, they did just score again, 28-14 the score now. Yeah, this is the most. Yeah, this has been my best year betting football that I've ever had. Yeah, I'm probably ahead for the season betting college football, and normally that's not the case. But I'm probably well. I know I'm ahead. I've won 9 of the last 11 weeks. G5 Johnny doing his thing out there. Yeah. They're reviewing that touchdown right now. They called it a touchdown on the field. Instant replay is taking a look at it. Did Troy just turn the ball over and James Madison scored, or what am I looking at here? Is that a replay? That must have been a replay. They're still reviewing this touchdown. This is taking forever. I wish soccer could have caught on more in the U.S., but not being able to have consistent commercials like football and baseball is why it never caught on. The ruling is upheld. Touchdown Tulane, 23-7. They'll kick an extra point, and then it'll be halftime. Jacksonville State just scored to take the lead late. their first lead of the game. Hell, they were down 12-0 a minute ago. Jacksonville State was down 12-0 with about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They're about to be winning. They're up 13-12. They're going to go for 2 here to try to make it a 3-point game. Huge comeback here for Jacksonville State in the last 8 or 9 minutes of this game. Down 12-0 a few minutes ago. Now up 13-12, going for 2. Shotgun. Snap, back to throw, looks left, throws left, fade into the end zone. One-handed catch. Wow. And they're going to get pass interference on the defense, but it doesn't matter. He caught it anyway. Going to be a 3-point... Going to be a 3-point lead for Jacksonville State. It's going to be 15-12 with 4:04 to go in the game. I'm concerned Buster was driving the bus at Tech and Key was just on it. I think Tech might have a bad year next year as a Tech fan. Well, you're going to be without both of them next year, aren't you? Haynes King's out of eligibility, ain't he? There are no other 10-2 teams in the ACC, buddy. Miami's the only one. Virginia, question mark. Yeah, if Virginia wins, they're in. If they lose, they're not. Yeah, Virginia has a chance to get in. All they got to do is win. I don't know what that has to do with Miami. Virginia winning or losing doesn't have anything to do with Miami getting in or not. If they lose and Miami still gets in. What about it? I don't understand why you think that's some sort of an issue. Miami's ranked way ahead of them. Virginia's ranked like 17th or 18th or something, aren't they? Miami's ranked way ahead of them. I don't know what one has to do with the other. I mean, Oklahoma's ranked ahead of Alabama. Bama's playing in the SEC championship game. Oklahoma's not. I don't know what. I guess I don't know what point you're making. I'm saying if you're going to put Miami in, you have to do that with Virginia. No, you don't. I don't. One's got nothing to do with the other. I don't know why you would think that or why it is you're trying to correlate Miami and Virginia. I've got no idea. Virginia's ranked 16th or 17th, whatever it is. If they lose, they're not going to move up into the top 10. What would make you think that What would make you think that a 16th ranked team that loses their conference championship game would somehow then get moved into the top 10? I mean, do you even think these things through before you type them? All right, let's see if Kennesaw State can come down and win the game. 3:30 to go. They've led the whole game. They were up 12-0 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They're now down 15-12. They've got the ball at midfield. Pass complete, no incomplete. With 3:19 to go, flags down. I don't know what the penalty is. I didn't even see the flag. A chop block on Kennesaw State. That's a bad penalty to take. Bad time to take it, too. That's going to back them up. That's going to put them behind the 8 ball there. That's a bad penalty. You got to know better than that. 3:19 to go. It's going to be 1st and 25 for Kennesaw State, and they're backed up back on their side of the 50 now. They're going to hand it off and lose 2 more yards. 2nd and 27. Boy, Kennesaw State has completely imploded in the last 8 minutes of this fourth quarter. This is bad. Up 12-0 with 8 minutes to go, and they're going to lose. They're all the way back on their own 38 now. I'm going to laugh my ass off if Duke wins tomorrow night. It's going to be interesting. Well, if Duke wins, then, well, the winner of North Texas and Tulane is in, no matter what else happens. If James Madison holds on and wins, and Duke wins, then James Madison will be in the playoffs. And James Madison's up 17-14 in the fourth quarter. They're the next team in line, James Madison, over Duke. James Madison is ranked 25th in the latest ranking. Duke is unranked. Good luck to your dogs tomorrow. Hey, thanks, buddy. Uh-oh, big play from Kennesaw State. On 3rd and 27, they're going to pick up 26 yards. Great catch, too. Took a big hit, but held on to the ball. So they've got a chance here. It's going to be 4th and 1. 3rd and 27, they hit a 26-yarder. 4th and 1, they're on the Jacksonville State 36-yard line. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Need Duke and BYU to win to create some chaos. Yeah, I just don't know how much chaos that's going to create. I mean, if BYU wins, then Notre Dame and Miami are both out, and 2 group of 5 teams are in. I mean, it's pretty straightforward to me. I think what's happening is a lot of people are hyping up all these chaos scenarios as clickbait to get you to watch their videos. It's not really that hard to figure out what's going to happen. People are hyping it up, I think, to make it more than it is. If BYU wins, BYU and Texas Tech are both in. Notre Dame and Miami are both out. And if Duke wins, 2 group of 5 teams are getting in. I mean, I think it's that simple. Unless James Madison loses. If James Madison loses, they're winning in the fourth quarter. But if James Madison loses and Duke wins, then Duke probably gets in. No, Duke is not in. Duke's not in unless James Madison loses. If James Madison loses, Duke would probably be next in line as the 5th highest ranked conference champion. I reset the Patreon. I reset the wrenches like 2 weeks ago, and I've been handing them back out on the Patreon stream. So if you don't have a wrench, that just means you haven't been on a Patreon stream in a while. But I hand out the wrenches on the Patreon stream. I can't wait until noon Eastern on Sunday, so all this bullshit. Me and you both, buddy. I've been asked every possible scenario a million times over the last 7 days. And it's really not that hard to figure out to me. I'm kind of surprised that it seems so hard to figure out for so many other people. If BYU wins, BYU and Texas Tech are both in. Notre Dame and Miami are both out. If James Madison wins and Duke wins, 2 Group of 5 teams are in. James Madison and the winner of North Texas Tulane. If Virginia wins, they're in no matter what. It's pretty straightforward to me. The only question is, will they move Miami ahead of Notre Dame if BYU loses? To me, that's the only question. That's the only thing I don't know. I think they should move Miami ahead of Notre Dame, but I thought they should have had Miami ahead of Notre Dame 3 weeks ago, and they haven't the whole time. But that's the only thing that I won't know until the committee puts out their final rankings. If BYU loses, who's in, Miami or Notre Dame? That'll be the only question I have. If it comes down to Duke, why wouldn't they just put BYU in even if they lose? There has to be 5 conference champions in the college football playoffs. If you don't even understand the basic structure of the college football playoff, I don't know what I can do to help you at this point. But 5 conference champions have to be in the playoffs. So I don't even know what you're asking. Why would it come down to Duke and BYU? There's no scenario imaginable where it would come down to Duke and BYU. All right, 1:20 to go. Kennesaw State down 3 with the ball in field goal range on the Jacksonville State 27, 2nd and 4. Play action. Quarterback. That's going to be intentional grounding, isn't it? They're going to get Kennesaw State with intentional grounding. That's going to cost them yards and a down. Bad penalty there. Tried to avoid the sack by throwing the ball away, but there was nobody there. That's probably going to be intentional grounding, which is a loss of down and a penalty. JMU still up 3. 12 minutes to go in the game. 1st and 10 for Troy. They're going to keep it on the ground for a gain of 7. 2nd and 3 coming up. Yep, intentional grounding against Kennesaw State. That's bad. That probably knocks them out of field goal range and costs them a down. So that was not good there. Oh, that was a sack. If they review that, it's actually better for Kennesaw State if it's just a sack. But it looked like he was down. They are reviewing it, and it looked like his knee was down before he threw the ball. So they should pick up the flag. No intentional grounding. It'll just be a sack and a loss on the play, but that's better than getting an intentional grounding call. Third and 1. Troy picks up the first down across their 45 to their 40. Is that the 46 or the 36? I can't tell from that angle. Might be the 36. In any case, it's going to be a first down for Troy with about 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. They're down 3, 13 to 10. No, 17 to 14. 17 to 14. 1st and 10 on their own 37. Troy shotgun. Snap, back to throw. They're going to get the right tackle with a false start. That's going to back Troy up there. 9:59 to go. Going to be 1st and 15, though, after that false start penalty. I wish the college football playoffs were more like the NFL. No committee. Yeah, they need to get rid of all that and just go to a straight 4 teams from each conference get in. This shit's just getting way out of hand now. It's getting way out of control. I mean, you got the committee now trying to convince people that game control matrix is somehow more important than who won a game between 2 teams. I mean, you got Notre Dame and Miami with the same record. One team beat the other. It's that simple. Put Miami ahead of Notre Dame. I don't know what we have gotten to a point in college football where we don't know what's up and what's down anymore. We just need to get rid of the whole damn committee and polls and picking teams and just top 4 teams from each conference go to the playoffs. 16-team playoff. Group of 5 can form their own. Notre Dame can stick their fist up their butt, or they can join a conference. One of the two. But I'm so just tired of the non-stop fucking bickering and crying and whining and conspiracy theories, and it's never ending. It's never ending. Is Kennesaw State out of field goal range? They might be, and it's 4th and 14, and they got a player down, and he looks like he's in a lot of pain, grabbing his knee. You're going to get this every year, Lou, even with a 16-team playoff. Not the way I'm doing it, because there's no committee, there's no voting. It's just the end of the regular season. You take the top 4 teams from each conference and put them in a playoff. That's it. I mean, there's nothing to argue about. Same with it would be just like every other sport on earth. Conference standings is what determines whether or not you go to the postseason. I mean, it literally doesn't get any simpler than that. There's nothing to argue over. So I don't know what you mean when you say that won't solve the arguing problem. It 100% will solve the arguing problem. I mean, it doesn't get any more straightforward. I mean, when's the last time you heard somebody in the NFL say, wait a minute, the 14th best team in the AFC is better than the 7th best team in the NFC. This isn't fair. We got to change the whole playoff. Never. Because you know going into the season how you get into the playoffs. So the playoffs would be Virginia, SMU, Miami, Pittsburgh, Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, Houston, Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, Southern Cal, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. That would be your playoffs. Those 16 teams. I mean, it literally doesn't get any easier or simpler than that. It's the same way every other sport on the planet does their postseason. Second and 7, Troy's going to lose yards. It's going to be 3rd and about 9. Under 8 minutes to go in the game now. They're still down 3, and they're on their own side of the field, so not even close to field goal range to try to tie it up. 4th and 14. Game on the line for Jacksonville State. They're going to go for it. They're on their own 37, so their field goal kicker must be dog shit. It would be about a 53-yarder if they tried to kick a field goal from here. Back to throw on 4th and 14. Scrambles out to the left. Wants to run. He might have got the damn thing. He did. And they're going to get Jacksonville State with a late hit on the sideline. So it's going to be a first down plus an extra 15 yard. They're going to be all the way down near the 10 or 15 yard line here. I need them to score a touchdown. I've got Kennesaw State minus 3.5, I think. Or minus 3, maybe. A field goal would do me no good. That would be a 1-point win. I need them to score a touchdown, and they might be able to do it here after this penalty. That's a really late hit, too. God, real late. Pushed him right into the field goal net on the sideline, too. Yeah, ain't no need for that, man. Ain't no need for all that. Every referee in the stadium threw their flag all at the same time on that one. That's going to put Kennesaw State in, but that was a 4th and 14 scramble for a first down. and then add 15 yards to it for the late hit. And Kennesaw State's going to be in business here with 55 seconds to go. And they've got one timeout, so they can run whatever they want here. They've got a timeout in their pocket if they need to run a field goal kicker out on a 4th down. But they're going to have 1st and 10 down here in the red zone now with a chance to score a touchdown at the end of this game. Did you see John Gruden's solution to college football playoff? Yeah. Lou, you still doing the whole exercise deal? Yes. Notre Dame derangement syndrome is running wild. Ohio State, Georgia, and Notre Dame are the best teams. Do you want another playoff with blowouts or a legit title fight? That's a cool opinion, but that's all it is an opinion. So I'm not saying Notre Dame's not any good. And if you think that's what people are saying, then you don't understand the argument that people are making. If you think Notre Dame should be ranked 9th, then Miami needs to be ranked 8th. It's got nothing to do with how good anybody thinks Notre Dame is. I mean, we all thought Notre Dame was beating Miami in week 1. That's why Notre Dame was favored by 7.5 points in that game. But guess what? What you think isn't always reality. So that's great that you think Ohio State, Georgia, and Notre Dame are the best teams in the country. But what we know is that Miami and Notre Dame are both 10-2. They played each other and Miami won the game. So there's absolutely no reason for Miami to be ranked behind Notre Dame. It's insanity. And what you're doing is telling people that the games don't matter. What matters is what we think. If that's the case, we don't need to play any games at all. We can just look at the talent rankings before the season starts, skip the entire regular season, and go straight to the playoffs just based off talent ratings. It's just a horrible precedent to set. If 2 teams have the same record and one beat the other, they need to be ranked higher. When Bama beat Georgia and they had the same record, Bama was ranked ahead of Georgia every single week until Bama lost another game. When Bama beat Oklahoma, or when Oklahoma beat Bama, Oklahoma has been ranked ahead of Bama every single week since then because they have the same record and Oklahoma beat them. It's head-to-head is the first tiebreaker in every sport on this planet, and it has been since the beginning of time. To throw all that away, I think is a terrible idea. It's got nothing to do with whether Notre Dame's one of the best 3 teams in the country or not. What we think is irrelevant. When 2 teams have the same record, it's obvious what should happen. So I don't know if you just don't understand that argument I just made or what, but no one, at least that I know of, is saying that Notre Dame isn't any good. Texas is good too. Vandy is good too. They're not in either. Hey, touchdown Kennesaw State. Hey, Lou. We needed that because what are we, 0 for 2? About to be 0 for 3 with this Boise State shit. 28-14, UNLV's losing. I need them to make, this is a big extra point though. This is a big extra point. I've got Kennesaw State minus 3.5. They're now up 18-15. Here comes the extra point. This will make it a 4-point game in a pay-lose situation. Snap, hold, kick. Oh my God, they bobbled the snap, but he still made it somehow. Did you see that? Did y'all see that? They bobbled the fucking snap. But he still made it. Hey, Lou, I'll be at the SEC Championship game tomorrow. Go Dogs. Yeah, if anybody's ever wanted to go to the SEC Championship game and couldn't afford it, this is the year to go. The tickets are dirt cheap compared to what they normally are. And that's because of the expanded playoff. Fans have to pay for four tickets over the next month. So it's driving the price down. Lou, answer my question. I'd have to know what the question was. I can't read your mind. Even if I could, it might be blank pages in there. Second half underway. Tulane with the ball up 24-7. Don't tell Lou what to do. Yeah, whatever you do, don't tell me what to do. It says it right there on top of the screen there. Don't tell me what to do. It's a bad idea. Real bad idea. Oh, Monkey's in here. Hey, Monk, you come check on us? We're doing good. Come here. Come here. Oh, come here. Yeah, you sweet baby. You being a sweet baby. You might not feel good. You might not feel good. You might go out there going ahead. You being a sweet baby. Oh, I got you now. I got you now. I tricked you. I tricked you. You gonna say hi? You wanna say hi? What are they doing in there? They're trying to troll me and tell me what to do. Tell them to stop telling me what to do. And tell them to stop trolling me. Can you do that? Please? Oh, yeah. That's the most spoiled cat on the planet right there. Oh, now you must have heard we was giving out attention in here. You had to come see what was going on. You put a little water in there?
Yeah. I gotta get your blanket.
You had to come see.
I gotta get your blanket.
See, she ain't been in here all night. And as soon as she hears me in here giving attention to the cat, she has to come running in here. You want to say hi? Oh, show him your new sweater. Look at her new sweater. Oh, Speed Demon. Got the lightning bolt on the back. Oh, Grease Lightning over here. Oh, Grease Lightning over here. What you been doing out there? Sleeping or what? Huh? What you been doing out there? Huh? What was you doing out there, Berg? What was you doing out there, Berg? Oh, look what we got. Look what you got. And look, I got both your babies here. You got Pickle Man and Lamb Man there. And Monkey's over here. So, oh, ain't that. Well, that's it. Kennesaw State is going to hang on and beat Jacksonville State. They're going to win the Conference USA Championship. Shout out to Kennesaw State. They win 19-15. That's 4 points. 4 points is more than 3.5. Pay Lou on that deal there. Pay Lou. Got a Pay Lou situation here.
Oh, nice.
Which is good because we lost the first two.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so we're off the schneid, so to speak. Thank you for the water. You all right out there?
Yeah.
You're not snooping under the tree, are you? No. Let me catch you snooping. I know how you are. Did Tulane just turn the ball over again? Or did they dodge it? Oh, they might have dodged it. Boy, they tried to turn it over again, though. A lot of turnovers. A lot of turnovers in these games. Shout out to Kennesaw State, man. That's a good season for them. A handoff for Tulane on 2nd and 11, gains about 4. Going to be 3rd down now for Tulane. 9:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. They're up 24-7. Doesn't look like we're hitting our bet on this game. I had the over, and I think it was 60-something points. It doesn't look like they're going to get anywhere close to that. James Madison with a 26-yard touchdown to extend the lead. It's been 17-14 forever in that game. They just broke a big run here. Broke a couple of tackles, got loose in the secondary, and he was gone. Outran everybody to the end zone. That's going to put them up 24-14 now. I said bet the house on Kennesaw. Hoot, hoot. I didn't bet the house, but I did bet $100 on them. We're still down for the week, though. We're going to be even more down in a minute when these other games in. Not a good night on the betting. We're going to got a lot of these games wrong. We got to make it up tomorrow now. Here comes the extra point for James Madison. It's up and good. Yeah, looking like 1-3. Unless we get a bunch of points scored in this Tulane game in the last quarter and a half. Four minutes to go in the fourth. I think we're good on Troy. Yeah, any bets on Troy look like a winner. The James Madison was favored by 23.5. You all right? You all right? You okay? You got all your babies up here. See? You got all your babies. Pickle Man, Lamb Man, and Monkey Man. You got all your babies up there. You good? You gonna sit back there and chew on your foot now? Come on, man. Come on, man. What are you doing? You can't sit back there and chew on your foot, man. What are you doing? All right, 4 minutes to go in the game. James Madison up 24-14 over Troy. I'll take Bama and that 12.5. What 12.5? Does Burgle ever bark? Every single time the door opens. 100% of the time. It doesn't matter who's coming in or out. 100% of the time. She barks when the door opens. Yes. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Bama 12.5. It opened up at 1.5. It got bet up to 2.5. Unless it's changed in the last couple hours, it's still at 2.5. Unless it's changed. Louis, you nervous about tomorrow? No. No, there's no reason to be nervous. Even if Georgia loses, they're still in the playoffs. It's just nothing to be nervous about. I mean, like every game, I hope nobody gets hurt on either side. But as far as nervous about winning or losing the game, no. I want Georgia to win. Like I always want Georgia to win, but it's hard to get mad at a loss when you know your next, so what you lose. Now you get a home playoff game. Yeah. And the field goal is no good from Tulane, so still 24-7. DraftKings has it back down to 1.5. Let me see what my site has it at. NCAA football. Yeah, mine too. Back down to 1.5. Georgia favored by 1.5. Texas Tech favored by 12.5. Ohio State favored by 4. Virginia favored by 4. And then you got Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan are playing tomorrow too. Western Michigan's favored by 1.5 in that one. Pay Lou, go get that bookie this weekend. We're going to have a big day tomorrow or else we're going to lose. We're going to be down after today. We got to try to make it up tomorrow. But really, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I won 1,500 last week. So if I lose a couple of hundred this week, it ain't the end of the world. Ohio State and Western Michigan are my guarantee, no doubt, bet your mama's house locks of the year. So bet the opposite. Okay. James Madison just scored again, 31-14. So 2 minutes ago it was 17-14. James Madison has scored 2 touchdowns in the last minute and a half or so. And they're now blowing out Troy 31-14. North Texas quarterback scramble on 3rd and 20, picks up about 13. It's going to be 4th and 7 or 8 now for North Texas. And they're running out of time. Fourth and 9. North Texas keeps their offense on the field on their own 33. Back to throw. Intercepted. This could be a pick 6, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tulane. It's going to be 31-7. And we still got 7.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They might end up hitting the over. I don't know. Referees are talking about something. What are they going to do? Try to involve themselves in this game now? Are the referees bored, so they got to make something up now? What are we doing? Ruling on the field is a touchdown. Okay, good. That's great news. Tulane trying to get the over by themselves. Lou, what watch are you wearing tonight? This is a Tissot. Oh, shit. Did he fumble that at the 1-yard line? Boy, that's close. This might end up being a touchback and North Texas keeps the ball. They ruled it a touchdown on the field. He was hit near the goal line and he definitely fumbled. But was it before the ball crossed the plane or after? We'll have to look at the replay and see, but it's close. They might overturn this. 2nd and 3, Troy's going to be sacked again. Lou, I have that watch. It's fantastic. Yeah, I love this watch. Is that a Dodgers hat? No, it's just a Los Angeles hat. What time is it in Germany? They're 6 hours ahead, I believe. So whatever time it is now, plus 6. 10:30, 4:30 in the morning, I guess. Aren't they 6 hours ahead? James Madison eating Troy alive. Yeah, it was 17-14 5 minutes ago. James Madison scored 2 touchdowns in about 3 minutes of game time to blow this thing open. My Timex has the same time. Nothing wrong with a Timex. I don't wear watches to tell the time. We need the Big 12 to do their conference championship game in Vegas. Where are they doing it? Dallas? Still? Cartier? I don't have a Cartier. I actually do have a Cartier. It's a woman's Cartier. I don't even know how I got it. It's a woman's Cartier, and it's old and it doesn't work. And I've never taken it in to get looked at. Um, I don't even know if I still have that thing, actually. Let me look. Actually, I don't know if it's a woman's watch or not, actually. I don't even know if you can see it. But it's old as shit and it doesn't work. And it's not the battery or any of that. It just it needs to be worked on. No, it's not gold. No, it's stainless steel. And I don't even know if this is. I don't even know if this is the original bracelet. What does that say? My eyes are so bad I can't read what this says. Yeah, so I don't even know if this is the original bracelet, but no, it's not gold. It's stainless steel. What'd they end up doing on that call? Did they reverse it or was it a touchdown? Touchdown? Well, that's good for any chance we had of hitting the over bet, so I'll take it. My Seiko chronograph was my favorite watch until I got the Tissot. I've never had a Seiko. I'd like to have a Grand Seiko, or maybe a Seiko 5. Well, I'd really like to have a Grand Seiko, but they're expensive. Um, what was the other one you said? My weekend watch is a Citizen Chrono. I don't have any Citizen watches either. Troy trying to do their best Auburn impression. 8 sacks allowed. Absolutely pathetic effort from this O-line. Yeah, well, especially now that they're down so much, and, you know, JMU knows they have to throw the ball. That defensive front from James Madison is just pinning their ears back now, and Troy doesn't stand much of a chance. You're a G-Shock guy? I've got 3 or 4 G-Shocks. I love G-Shocks. You can't break them. I mean, you can run over the fucking thing with a car. You never know it. Yeah, I've got 3 or 4 G-Shocks. I love G-Shocks. Lou loves this blue field. I won't even watch the game because of that. I'd love to put that game on. This game's over here, but I'm not even putting that game on. It gives me a headache to watch it. Sorry for stating a shit show watch show, brother. No. Yeah. I love talking about watches. I'm no expert, but I do love watches. Fair catch called by North Texas at the 5, so technically a touchback. Be 1st and 10 for them. There's still a ton of time left in the game, but North Texas surprisingly limited offense here. This is a team that's been scoring 40 points a game on everybody all year, and they've had a hard time even getting first downs today. The turnovers haven't helped, but still. Top 5 coaches in college football? I don't know. I'd really have to think about it. I mean, the 2 obvious ones would be Kirby Smart and Ryan Day. If they're not in your top 5, then you don't have any business making a top 5 list. So you start with those 2. Uh, in no particular order, people I would consider for the top 5 would be Dan Lanning. I think if Notre Dame gets in the playoffs and makes another run, obviously if they win a title, but even if they win a couple of games, I think you got to consider Marcus Freeman top 5 maybe. I think Kalen DeBoer would be a bubble top 5. I think Sarkisian would be bubble top 5. I mean, Dabo's got 2 natties, and that's impressive, but you can't ignore the last 4 or 5 years for Clemson either. I don't think Dabo currently is a top 5 coach. Who am I leaving out? Kurt Signetti. He's got to win something. He's got to win something. You know, the Big Ten, a playoff game or 2, something. Mike Elko top 5? I don't know. No. Top 10 or 15 maybe. Cristobal? No. Uh-uh. North Texas back to throw near midfield. Pump fake. Now the quarterback's going to run. Picks up the first down and ducks out of bounds around the 35. We need North Texas to come down and score here. That was a big play for them there on 3rd and 15 to keep the drive alive, but we need them to go down and score. Under 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 31-7 is the score. Yay, Owls. Congratulations, Kennesaw State. Yeah, good win for them. Conference champions. 10-win season, I believe. Weren't they 9-3? So now they're, what, 10-3 now, I think? First and 10, North Texas keeps it on the ground, tries to make a man miss. Unsuccessful, though, and stood up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. If Ryan Day wins the Natty this year, does he take over the one spot from Kirby? I would think so, yeah. Mike Norvell needs to go back to Memphis. They do need a coach, unless they've hired one in the last couple of days, but they lost their coach to Arkansas. Kiffin just got paid like he's top 5. Well, yeah, but you can't base it on that. So did Signetti. Every coach that signs a contract extension is getting $12, $13 million a year or more now. Another big run by the North Texas quarterback all the way inside the 15. First and 10, North Texas. They're in the red zone on the 14. We need them to score a touchdown here. Day isn't better than Kirby when Kirby owns Day. So you think DeBoer is better than Kirby then? Because DeBoer is 2-0 versus Kirby. Now, I don't think DeBoer is better than Kirby, but you do. Which is weird. Sorry, Lou, got a new phone and had problems getting YouTube to work. What? Oh, signing into your Google account or whatever, though? Yeah, that's always a hassle when you get a new phone. Thoughts on Brent Key extension? I think he's the best thing to happen to Georgia Tech since they won half a natty in 1990. So I don't blame Georgia Tech for giving him an extension at all. At all. Final score, James Madison 31, Troy 14. So James Madison, it would appear, is a Duke win over Virginia away from making the playoffs. If Duke beats Virginia, James Madison will be in the playoffs. I never said DeBoer was better than Kirby. I said Kirby is better. No, you said Day won't be better than Kirby because Kirby beat Ryan Day. That's what you said, which means that you think DeBoer is better than Kirby. James Madison will knock Miami out of playoff contention. There's somebody else that has no idea how the playoff structure works. James Madison getting in the playoffs or not doesn't have any impact or effect on Miami at all. If James Madison gets in, it's going to be one of the 5 guaranteed spots. Doesn't have any effect on Miami. ESPN broadcast froze. Not for me. It didn't. 3rd and 9 for North Texas. 5 wide. They're on the Tulane 13. Back to throw. Into the end zone. Incomplete. Nearly intercepted. There's a flag down. Receiver yelling about pass interference, and I think he's going to get the call. This will give North Texas a fresh set of downs inside the 5. I think Cade Klubnik was responsible for Clemson being 7-5. You spelled Dabo Swinney wrong. Dabo Swinney is responsible for the downfall of Clemson. They've gotten worse every single year for 6 years in a row. Everything has changed during that time except the head coach. Intercepted in the end zone. God damn it. 1st and goal, and they throw a fucking interception in the end zone. These fucking deadbeats, man. This over's never going to hit. I trust your football takes. What is your coaching synopsis of Summerall? Is the SEC head coach ready in your opinion? There's no way to know. There's no way to know. I think he's a good coach, but everybody thought Napier was a good coach too. I mean, so as far as what he will do in Florida, there's no telling. He's going to have to hire the right staff. He's going to have to recruit the right players. He's going to have to portal the right players. I mean, there's just no way to know. There's just no way to know. Lane Kiffin was more of a sure thing. Now, that doesn't mean that Sumrall won't be good or better than Lane Kiffin or worse. Like, it doesn't mean anything. But Kiffin's was more of a known commodity because he was obviously already a head coach in the SEC. So I mean, you just never know. You think conference championships will go away with expansion? I do think conference championship games, as we know them right now, will be gone sooner rather than later. Yes. Unless they're going to go to a system where the 4 conference champions get the 1 through 4 seed, it's going to get harder and harder to justify why we're playing these conference championship games. And we tried that last year and people hated it. Giving the conference champions the top 4 seeds, people hated that. But without that, it's hard to see the purpose of the conference championship games going forward. Are you going to do a coaching hire recap video? Yes, I purposely waited till next week when we don't have any games to talk about. I've got a handful of videos to do that aren't directly related to games or conference championships or playoff ranking talk or whatever, that I purposely am holding off until next week, because there won't be a lot to talk about next week unless you want me to make a bunch of videos crying about the playoff rankings, which I'm not going to do. Thank you, BB Fit. Good to see you in here. Yes, I do think Gunnar Stockton will be back next year. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. So whether he goes, whether he tries to enter the draft this year or next year, I don't think he's not an NFL quarterback. So he might as well stay in college and make a couple $1 million a year. But I'm not Gunnar Stockton, so who knows what he'll do. But I find it hard to believe he's going to get a high draft grade. I think he's a great college quarterback. I don't have any problem with him being the quarterback at Georgia. But being a good college quarterback in and of itself, that's not what the NFL is necessarily looking for. JMU might be one and done. Well, at least 4 teams are going to be one and done. At least 4. And then if anybody that has a first round bye loses, that's more than 4 that are one and done. Why do you think he would not be good in the NFL? Honestly, if you have to ask that, then me explaining it probably won't do any good. But he's too short. He doesn't have the arm. He's not talented enough. The list goes on and on. Has nothing to do with how good of a college quarterback he is. College football over the last 100 years is littered with amazing quarterbacks who weren't NFL quarterbacks. Probably not streaming the noon game tomorrow, no. I am streaming the 8 o'clock games on YouTube, so the Big Ten Championship and the ACC Championship. The SEC Championship game will be streamed on Patreon, and I'm giving $500 away on the Patreon stream tomorrow, so I'll post the link again, but it's in the description of the video too. But that's the link to the Patreon page. I'll be streaming at 4 o'clock for the SEC Championship game. Make sure you get signed up. It's $10 to join the Patreon, but we're giving away $500 tomorrow at halftime of the SEC Championship game. So if you're not signed up, get signed up now. Cost you $10. Best $10 you ever spent. We stream over there every Saturday. Tulane with the ball after that North Texas interception in the end zone killed any hopes we had of hitting our over. North Texas sucks. This is what happens when you start a JV backup quarterback. I don't know. Georgia started a JV backup quarterback and won 2 natties with him. But North Texas ain't UGA. KSU has the same amount of conference championships as Georgia Tech does in the last 27 years. Big dang. They've got more than Miami's got in the last 20 years. Lou, I hope you're doing well. What do you think of Summerall hiring Faulkner as OC and White as his DC? I haven't liked Faulkner from day one, so it's got nothing to do with him being hired at Florida. You can go back and listen to everything I ever said about Faulkner. I don't know. I don't know. And look, I'm in the minority when it comes to Georgia fans. Most Georgia fans are in love with Faulkner for some reason. I don't know why. Um, I can't figure it out. The only thing I've ever seen Buster Faulkner do is cost Georgia Tech the Georgia game last year in overtimes with his terrible fucking play calling. Um, but like I said, I'm in the minority when it comes to my opinion on Buster Faulkner. But I don't like him. Let's go UNLV. Yeah, I've got UNLV plus 6.5. What's the score? Did they just score again? 28-20. I guess I'll turn that game on, but goddamn, I don't know how much of it I can actually watch because that blue field gives me a headache. They really need to do away with that gimmick. I mean, that was cool 25 years ago when nobody knew who Boise State was, and they were trying to become what they are now. And you would talk about Boise State and people would go, what? Boise State? Who's that? And they go, that team with the blue field. Oh, yeah, the team with the blue field. But come on, man, it's 2025. You were in the playoffs last year. It's time to get rid of the blue fucking field. It's unwatchable on TV. But yeah, UNLV did just score to make it a 7-point game. 2:59 to go in the third quarter, 28-21. I'm serious. It literally gives me a headache when I try to watch it. I can't just stare at that game and watch just that game. So I'll leave it on over there and I'll keep a heads up for scoring plays or turnovers or whatever. But I really can't watch that blue field. It gives me a headache. The red field, yes. At Eastern Washington, there's a team with a blood red field, and it's even worse than the blue field. It's even worse. North Texas has the ball across their own 45 to the 46. Going to be third and about 4 now for North Texas. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. They're down 31-7. Time running out here for North Texas. Going deep. Knocked away. Incomplete. Good play on the ball by the DB downfield. Got his head around and knocked it away. 4th and 4. Probably going to go for it again. Videos on all new coaches. Central Arkansas has a purple and silver striped field. What is the over? 60, 66? 66, I think. North Texas is going to punt. I'm surprised. They went for it last time around this same spot on the field, but not this time. They're lined up to kick it away. What are we eating tomorrow? I don't think we decided yet what we're eating tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think we figured it out yet. She has to work tomorrow, I think. So usually when she has to work, she brings something home on Saturdays. Boise State 3rd and 1. Hand off, and they're going to pick up the first down. Seems like Pat Kraft doesn't like any coach or team. Did you see the leak? I didn't see it, but I heard it. Well, I heard some of it. The version I heard was kind of hard to hear, but I heard him bitching and moaning about, I think, Oregon and Georgia. Whatever. The guy's a deadbeat. He's probably going to find himself out of a job pretty soon. Thanks for the stream, Woo. I'll be at the SEC Championship game with the junior tomorrow. We all have fun, man. Have a good time. Bring me back a Georgia win if you don't mind. It would mean a lot to me. North Texas is going to go for it now on 4th and 9. Complete, big game. Might be a touchdown. It is going to be a touchdown. On 4th and 9, North Texas with a 50-something yard touchdown pass for a touchdown. Well, about a 25-yard pass and a 30-yard run for a touchdown. And with 16 seconds to go in the third quarter, that's going to make it 31-14. So we're not dead yet. Now, we're still fighting an uphill battle on this total bet that we have at 66. We would need, what, 3 more touchdowns in the fourth quarter? 31 plus 14 is what? 41, 44. They're going to go for 2 here. I'm assuming because the analytics chart says so. Back to throw. Incomplete. 31 plus 13 is 44. So we are 22 points away. We would need 3 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion in the fourth quarter to get the over. Florida fans can enjoy watching their coach win his last conference championship. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. Opinion on the Matt Campbell hire. I'm torn because I think Matt Campbell's a good coach. But why was he 14th on Penn State's wish list? That's number one. That's a red flag. Number two, there's this other guy that I watch on YouTube every once in a while. And the worse somebody is, or the worse that a team is, the more this guy hypes them up. And this guy hypes Matt Campbell up like he's one of the greatest coaches in the history of history. So I'm kind of torn because I think he's a good coach, but because this guy is hyping him up, and he usually only does that when people are really terrible, it's making me think that I'm wrong about Matt Campbell. Plus, I don't know at this point that it matters who Penn State hires. I don't think Penn State's going to be any good for the next 3 to 4 years. I mean, they blew their recruiting class. They have the 150th ranked recruiting class. They're behind Ivy League schools and FCS schools. I mean, yeah, they can portal players in, but I don't know. It seems to me like Penn State is headed towards the same kind of plan that Nebraska was on after they fired Bo Pelini. It could be dark days ahead for Penn State. If Georgia beats Bama by 4 touchdowns, do they still go to the playoffs? I think they will, yeah. If you don't like conference championship games, or you wish conference championship games would go away, then you need to root for Bama to lose and get left out of the playoffs. Because if Bama gets left out of the playoffs after a loss tomorrow, you'll never see another conference championship game ever again. Penn State will have to portal 30 players in. That will be a disaster. At least they're going to have to portal 30 in plus however many leave in the portal. Like they're going to have to portal in 30 just to make up for the recruiting class. And then if they have 20 players leave, that's 20 more players. It's probably going to be a West Virginia deal where you got to portal in 60 players. We'd literally have to beat Bama as bad as we beat Florida State for them to get left out. Yeah, it would take something like that and Ty Simpson carted off the field with a blown knee or something, and Alabama then looks terrible the rest of the games. It would have to take something really weird like that. I just don't think any of that's going to happen. You're getting cashed out over there. You don't give up over there? You don't give up? You sleepy? Are you sleepy? James Madison has hired Napier as their head coach. Yes. How long till the ACC gets absorbed? 2031 at the earliest, if it even happens. Kirby will throw another game to Bama like he always does. Kirby's never thrown a game to Bama. He just gets beat. People who think games are lost on purpose or thrown on purpose for some reason, people who think that have never succeeded or excelled at anything in their life at the highest level. You know, that's why they think other people would do something like that. If Duke wins, wouldn't they be the first 7-5 team in the playoffs? Duke's not getting in the playoffs. Doesn't matter if they win. They're not going to be one of the highest 5 ranked conference champions. If Duke wins, James Madison's getting in. No 3-loss teams belong in. No 3-loss teams are getting in. All of the teams getting in either have 1 or 2 regular season losses or 0. There is nobody with 3 regular season losses is getting in. Summerall is going to make the playoffs before Florida. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think games being thrown is the usual, but it also happened more than never. Okay. You're one of the people I'm talking about. Boise State on the goal line. First and goal. They're going to throw it. Incomplete. Over the head of the intended receiver. Second and goal now for Boise State on the 1. They're up 7, 28-21 with 13:27 to go. Kirby does not do everything in his power to lose to Alabama. He does everything in his power to beat Bama. He just hasn't, except for once. Tulane on 2nd and 11 is going to pick up a first down out to midfield. First play of the 4th quarter. 31-13, Tulane with the lead. Yeah, Boise State scored again. Here comes the extra point. It's good. Back to a 14-point lead. 35-21 with 13:23 to go in the fourth quarter. You want me to give a record prediction on Florida when we don't have any idea what their roster or coaching staff is going to look like? I'm going to say no on that. Kirby will do what Ryan Day did and finally overcome the Bama mental block. I have faith, says Nicholas DePerno. Bama has Cuevas out big time if he sits. Yeah, I think he is out, but look, I mean, everybody's got players out. Georgia's got players out. Bama, I mean, it's week 15. Everybody's got players out. Georgia's without their starting center. CJ Allen's banged up. Chauncey Bowens is, I guess, going to play. Didn't play against Georgia Tech. Twelve and a half minutes to go. Tulane punting it away now. Fair catch called and made at the 12-yard line. 1st and 10, North Texas on their own 12, down 31-13. Ohio State has a better record against the last 3 SEC teams we have faced than Florida does against the last 3 they faced. Georgia man needs to move to Florida and become Florida fan. Moving to Florida is bad enough, but then that's just adding salt to the wound with the Florida fan deal. Yeah, pay Lou down bad today. We're going to be down a couple $100. If you had to read this dumb shit for 4 hours, you'd be grumpy too. Oklahoma City Thunder have an NBA dynasty. Hasn't a different NBA team won the championship 7 years in a row? Are you sure? Trick play from UNLV doesn't work. Incomplete pass. Going to be 3rd and 2. Yeah, I'll keep letting Octavian call in. I'm just not going to listen to the same thing over and over and over again. I'll just take the headphones off when he calls in. 3rd and 2 for UNLV. They're down 14, 35-21. They're on their own 33. Back to throw. Terrible pass, incomplete. Would have been a first down. He was open into flat. The quarterback threw it at his feet. 4th and 2. Terrible fucking pass by Calandria, the quarterback for UNLV. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Terrible fucking throw. UNLV have to punt it away. Pass complete for North Texas. Big gain across the 30, out of bounds near the 35. Gain of about 20. Someone said Lou used to be watchable. Barely watchable videos. Pointless, too. Lou, I really like your 4-team per conference playoff suggestion. You know exactly what you need to do before the season even starts. Yeah, I don't know why we have to keep overcomplicating things just to make 90% of the college football fan base mad and pissed off. And look, the reality is when you have a postseason that you can't explain to the average person on the street, that's a problem. Go up to somebody who doesn't currently follow college football and try to explain the postseason to them. They'll look at you like you're retarded, because it is retarded. Lou, I need to take liquid Ambien after listening to Octavian yesterday. Well, that's why I don't even listen to him anymore. I got up and left the room yesterday when he called in. Just let him do his thing or whatever and moved on to the next caller. It's the same thing. I mean, I don't mind him calling in. I mean, you can't have a call-in show without callers, so I don't mind him calling in, and I'm not going to tell him he can't call in, but my God, he calls in every Tuesday and Thursday for a year and a half straight, and the same speech every single time. I can't believe Oregon fan called them a blue blood. Yeah, it's insanity. Absolute insanity. Look at our Florida coach tearing it up in the championship. Yeah, it looks just like Billy Napier when he was in the G5, doesn't it? First and 10, North Texas on the ground, only a couple of yards that time. 2nd and long coming up, 31-13. They need a lot of points, and they need them quick, or this one's going to be over. How long does Nebraska get to consider themselves blue bloods? Till the end of time. There's 8 blue bloods, and it will never change. Sacked. Loss of about 4. Going to be 3rd and long now. Third and 13. Back to throw. Pass complete, but well short of the first down. Near the Tulane 35, I think. But it's going to be 4th and long now. They're going to have to go for it here. Down, what are they down? 18 points? Got to go for it. Yeah, they're on the Tulane 35. They need to get to the 28. 4th and 7. Coming up on 10 minutes to go in the game. They're down 31-13. Here we go. Big play here. 4th and 7. Shotgun 4 wide. Motion. Snap. Back to throw. Looking left. Now right. Throws over the middle. Caught inside the 20. 15. 10. 9. Oh, all the way down to the 9 or 10 yard line. Boy, he went up and grabbed that one too. It was pretty good coverage. But the receiver just went up and picked it out of the air. 1st and goal. North Texas wants to go quick. They're already lined up. 1st and goal at the 9. Delayed handoff. Gets loose. Touchdown, North Texas. Boy, they just won't give up, will they? This is the North Texas offense I thought we'd see the whole game. They score 40 points. Well, both of these teams score 40 points a game. That's why everybody was on the over. But North Texas just didn't do shit for the first 3 quarters of this game. They had 7 points. They're scoring some now. I guess they're going to have to go for 2 now again to make up for going for 2 last time and not getting it. Eventually, they'll convert one of these 2-point conversions, I guess. I don't know. A lot of time left in this one, though. 9:26 to go. Maybe this will light a fire under Tulane and they'll score again. That would be ideal. A handoff, and he walks into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good. 31-21. We got a 10-point game, and there's going to be a little bit of pressure on Tulane now. We'll see how they handle this. A little bit of pressure now. They've been up big most of the game. North Texas has got it within 10 now. If North Texas can play some defense and get the ball back, we might have us a game here. Lou, Nebraska fan, done got bricked up with that blue blood comment. I don't know what that means, but Nebraska is a blue blood. Who are the blue bloods? There's 8 of them. Ohio State, Michigan, Bama, Southern Cal, Notre Dame. Who am I leaving out? Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, Southern Cal, Alabama, Nebraska, Texas, Oklahoma. Those are the 8. Those are the 8. The only fans that care about being a blue blood are from teams that suck. Yeah, teams that aren't any good today are usually the ones that want to cry and complain about being a blue blood. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't understand the infatuation with the blue blood argument. The blue blood argument is a group of 8 teams that's been playing football for 100 years, helped build the sport of college football in the beginning, in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You know, and they were all good at the time. They were winning conference titles and national titles and whatever else. I don't understand everybody's infatuation with blue blood. I mean, would you rather be Georgia right now or Nebraska? Would you rather be Indiana or Southern Cal? You know? Would you rather be Texas A&M or Texas right now, this second? Texas A&M. They're in the playoffs, Texas ain't. Georgia football was founded in 1892, so how is that not a blue blood? So everybody that was founded in 1892 is a blue blood? I can't believe you people are this fucking stupid. I really can't. You take everything as some sort of insult to your team. Georgia's not a blue blood. If you were to make a list of teams on the bubble, on the blue blood bubble, Georgia would be first on the list, followed by Tennessee. Didn't Rutgers play the first college football game ever? I guess they're an automatic blue blood. I mean, I really don't understand. I know y'all are college football fans because you're watching a college football channel on YouTube, but it's hard for me to imagine how some of you can be so fucking stupid. It really is. I'm not even trolling. Some of y'all are so fucking retarded. You know, if breathing wasn't automatically regulated by your central nervous system, you'd have died in the crib. Georgia was founded in 1892. How are they not a blue blood? I guess we got to add Auburn to the blue blood list too, huh? Then get a real job. What's a real job? Digging ditches like you do? I don't have any problem with digging ditches. I'm just trying to, what's the definition of a real job? I make 6 figures a year to talk about college football. Is that real enough for you? Why don't you put my fries in the bag and shut the fuck up? How about that? Does that sound like a good idea? Now they want to fight in this North Texas Tulane game. One guy just flopped. That looked like a basketball flop or a soccer flop. Autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system controls involuntary body functions like heart rate, digestion, breathing, and blood pressure. Yeah, that. Seems like Ohio State is the only team that never been bad for an extended time, but I don't know. Have they ever fired a coach? Did they fire the coach because he was good for an extended time? No. They fired him because he was bad for an extended time. Gambling every day and live streaming is not a real job. What is a real job? What is a real job? How many businesses do you own? None. You've been working for somebody else your entire life. Ronald McDonald or whoever the fuck it is that's signing your check, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't care if you dig ditches or fry chicken or whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck what you do. But I'm trying to figure out what a real job is. A real job is making moolah. Yeah, that's what I thought. You get up every day, you go to work for what? To make money. The difference between me and that idiot in the comment section is that I had the balls to go out on my own and make something of myself. He didn't. His definition of a real job is punching a clock, making somebody else money his entire life because he doesn't have what it takes to do it on his own. Tulane, 2nd and 9. Over the middle, incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and... Oh, no, here comes a flag. Are they going to get North Texas for pass interference here? This is a big penalty. It would have been 3rd and 9. It looks like they're going to get North Texas for pass interference here. Trolling for a living is not a real job, Lou. I guess that's why you don't get paid to try to do it. You're not very good at it either. If you were good at it, you probably could get paid for trolling. But you're not any good at it, so you probably don't get paid for it. The defender that dropped the pick just cost them the comeback. Yeah, Tulane bleeding clock now. It's almost down to 6 minutes to go. I work at Walgreens, by the way. You shouldn't run your mouth. I don't give a fuck where you work. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck where you work. Tulane picked up the first down, a quarterback scramble. At BYU, man, North Texas just can't contain him. 1st and 10 with 5.5 minutes to go. Tulane bleeding a lot of time off the clock on this drive, too. Boise State's still up 14, 35-21. That game's down to 7 minutes to go. Boise State with the ball. 1st and 10, Tulane. They're going to hand it off right up the middle. Has a hole, 5 yards. Pushes forward 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 yards. 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2 coming up. Under 5 minutes to go now. South Carolina needs to hire Sam Pittman for O-line coach. Anybody in the country would hire Sam Pittman at O-line coach. I think he's probably the best O-line coach in the country. He's unbelievable. Not a good head coach, obviously. But I think anybody would take him as an offensive line coach. I'm not going to make fun of the guy for working at Walgreens. Walgreens probably gets a tax break for hiring him. You know, these big corporations, this is another thing that he wouldn't know because he's never been in a position to know. But if you hire somebody with special needs, you get a tax break. So that's probably how he got hired there. They just hired him for the tax break. You get a tax credit if you hire. You know, there's certain groups of people. If you hire veterans, you get a tax break. But if you hire special needs people, you get a tax break. That's probably how he got the job. Kentucky basketball deserves to be on. The year season is over. They are so bad. I haven't watched any Kentucky basketball games this year. You know, I don't really follow college basketball like that. I don't have a favorite college basketball team or whatever. I do bet on college basketball every once in a while. So if I bet on a game and it's on TV, I'll watch it. But I couldn't even name. I don't think I can name a single college basketball player right now if you put a gun to my head. Walgreens is a blue blood? No. Eckerd's. Eckerd's was the blue blood. Who remembers Eckerd's? Eckerd's was the blue blood. Before CVS and Walgreens, there was Eckerd's. I remember Eckerd's when I was a kid. We had an Eckerd's right up the street from my neighborhood. We could walk there when we were kids. We used to walk to Eckerd's and buy packs of baseball cards and candy and shit when we were kids. Yeah, Eckerd's was the shit. Eckerd's was the shit, man. Boise State with another first down. They're in UNLV territory around the 34-yard line. Going to be 2nd down now. Yeah, Tulane has a playoff appearance. Florida doesn't. That's right. That's how bad Florida is. Tulane has made a playoff before Florida. Radio Shack, yep, Radio Shack, Woolworths, Sears, Kmart, Roses, all the great stores from the 80s. Piggly Wiggly, there's still some Piggly Wigglies around. I'm big on the pig now. I'm big on the pig. I love me a Piggly Wiggly. Service merchandise. Holy shit. Yeah. I remember that we had a service merchandise here on Washington Road. I remember that. God, I forgot about that one. Service merchandise. Damn. Yeah. Service. I forgot about that one. Service merchandise. Yeah, I remember that one. Yes, Circuit City. Yep. Blockbuster. Yeah. Not Blockbuster, but a Blockbuster competitor. Movie Gallery. Anybody remember Movie Gallery? In college, I was store manager of a movie gallery in Augusta. I used to work at movie gallery in Live Oak. Yeah, I started part time, got promoted to assistant manager, and then manager. I had to move stores to get the manager job, but I was part time and then assistant manager at one store, and then I moved to another store as manager. Western Sizzling, yep. Yeah, the movie rental thing was a different world back then. A different world. Manager making $10 per hour. No, it was a salary. It wasn't much. Uh, I mean, this was in the late '90s, though. I think we got paid every 2 weeks, and I want to say paycheck was maybe after taxes and all that, maybe $800 every 2 weeks as a store manager. But I was in college. I was a college student. I lived in a house with three other guys. We split all the. I mean, that was good money for me back then. $800. It was about $800 every 2 weeks after taxes. But they definitely didn't pay a lot. But that wasn't bad back then for somebody my age, college student, with roommates. It wasn't bad. It was a fun job too. It wasn't like it was hard work. Leave Walgreens name out your fucking mouth. Fuck Walgreens. Fuck you too. Any good roommate stories? Oh my God, buddy. That house I lived in, it's a miracle any of us are even still alive that lived in that house. Thank God they didn't have social media and YouTube and shit back then. None of us would ever be able to get a job if somebody would have recorded all the shit we were doing. I can't even tell those stories. Those are the stories I tell in the off season in the you know those shit show slash disaster streams that I do in the off season late on Saturday nights for no reason. Sometimes I'll just go live at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night in April for no reason. You have to wait on one of those to hear those stories. 3:41 to go in the game. North Texas is out of timeouts. 10-point game. Tulane's got the ball on the North Texas 13. 3rd and 6. Old school I formation here. Snap. Handoff right up the middle. Might have gained a yard. It's going to be 4th and about 5. Probably going to kick a field goal here. The only thing I ever liked at Shoney's was the breakfast buffet. They had a good breakfast buffet. I mean, it was pretty basic, but it had everything on there you would want. Bacon, eggs, French toast, waffles, pancakes, grits. That's really the only thing I remember about Shoney's was the breakfast buffet. My granddaddy used to take me to the breakfast buffet at Shoney's sometimes. Here comes the field goal, and it is good. 34-21 is the score now. A 13-point lead for Tulane with 2:51 to go. The biscuits and gravy at Shoney's were good too, and they always had that on the buffet too. Biscuit, I love biscuits and gravy. Y'all eat biscuits and gravy? Just some fresh biscuits, cut them in half. You know, that that white sausage gravy on top. Man, I love a good biscuit and gravy. Biscuits and jelly. There's no reason for anybody over 8 years old to be eating jelly. Is it a requirement to be toothless to be a Tennessee fan? I don't think it's a requirement. I just think it's strongly suggested. Yeah, jelly is something you put on something else so that kids will eat it, where otherwise they wouldn't. That's all jelly. That's why it was invented, was to get kids to eat shit that otherwise they wouldn't eat. You know, like, hey, kid, you want this peanut butter sandwich? No. What if I spread some gooey candy on it? Okay, yeah. North Texas pass complete. Short gain, though, across the 45 to the 46 or 47-yard line. 2:20 and the clock is ticking. They got to hurry. They would need a touchdown, an onside kick, and another touchdown. Back to throw. Complete again on a slant to the 40. Going to be 1st and 10 at the Tulane 40. 2:09 to go, clock ticking. Snap, back to throw. Nope, draw. They're going to hand it off. Gains about 6 yards. Clock will stop for the 2-minute warning with 1:56 to go in the game. You hanging in there? You hanging in there? Almost over, isn't it? Huh? That game almost over, Berg? Yeah, almost over. That's right. Okay, almost over, isn't it? Yeah, that's right, Burger. Did you ever go to Daytona Beach back in college for spring break? I did it in '96. It was crazy. No, I did Panama City back when Club La Vila was still there. That's why I don't ever get sick, by the way, is because I spent a lot of time in Club La Vila in the late '90s. And if you spent any time at all in Club La Vila in the late '90s and you're still alive, you're immune to any possible disease or sickness you can get. So I credit my time at Club La Vila for never getting sick. Arby's in Virginia still has the Western theme. Arby's is all right. I don't go there hardly ever. And of course, the only thing worth eating at Arby's is just the regular roast beef sandwich. No cheese either. Cheese does not go on a roast beef sandwich from Arby's. I don't know why y'all are doing that. Yeah, Arby's sandwich, meat only, with the Arby's sauce on it. And however much Arby's sauce you think you should put on it, you should put twice that much on it, and then eat it. But that's the only point in even going to Arby's is for a roast beef sandwich. Arby's is disgusting. Yeah, everything at Arby's is disgusting except their roast beef sandwich. UNLV had a time too, 38-21. They've got the ball, but there's only a minute 16 to go, and they're down 17. They just won't give up, though. They're in a shotgun. 4 wide. 1st and 10. Snap. An option. Yeah, they didn't give up. They're running fucking pitch plays here. Down 17 with a minute to go. So Boise State's going to win the Mountain West again. UNLV can beat everybody except Boise State, and it's happening again this year. It's be their second loss to Boise State this year. Red Lobster, best restaurant. I know you're trolling because you know my thoughts on Red Lobster. I know you're just trying to rage bait me there. But, of course, Red Lobster is absolute dog shit. It's the worst possible seafood restaurant you could ever go. It's basically the fast food version of seafood. It's just absolute dog shit. North Texas, inside the 10, inside the 5. It's going to be 1st and goal, North Texas. So it looks like we're at least going to see an onside kick attempt if they can punch it in here. 1st and goal with 1:39 to go. Whistles before the snap. But yeah, Red Lobster and Olive Garden are dog shit that you pay for. It doesn't make, there's just no reason to ever eat at Red Lobster or Olive Garden, period. It's just the worst fucking restaurants you can go to. It's not even, I don't even know why people consider those actual restaurants. They're frozen dinners, warmed up, served to you like it's real food. It's not. Red Lobster and Olive Garden are absolutely terrible. You're down bad if you're eating at either one of those places. If you're sitting around going, I want some Italian, let's go to Olive Garden, then you don't know what the fuck Italian food is. You're eating Stouffer's. Applebee's is pretty bad too, yeah. I would put Applebee's a slight step above Red Lobster and Olive Garden, though. 1st and goal, North Texas goes nowhere. Yeah, Carrabba's is acceptable. Olive Garden, no. Carrabba's is acceptable. Back to throw on 2nd and goal. Nowhere to go with it. Ends up throwing it out of the back of the end zone. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. There's 1:09 left. We used to have a Fazoli's here. It closed when I was a kid, though. It wasn't here for long. It might have been here for a couple of years. I don't even know if I ever went there. But I do remember there was a Fazoli's here when I was a kid. But it's been gone for 40 years, probably. 30 years at least. Back to throw on 3rd and goal. Nowhere to go with it again. Intercepted in the end zone. That's going to do it. 34-21. Tulane is going to beat North Texas and punch their ticket to the college football playoff. If you're keeping track at home, playoff appearances for Tulane, 1. Playoff appearances for Florida, still stuck at 0. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back on at 9 a.m. for the kickoff show. 4 o'clock tomorrow, SEC Championship game over on the Patreon page. Make sure you get signed up. It is $10, but it'll be the best $10 you ever spent. To that guy that works at Walgreens, maybe you can put in for some overtime, whatever you need to do. Get yourself signed up on that Patreon, scrounge you up $10. We'll see you over on the Patreon tomorrow at 4. Giving away $500 tomorrow on the Patreon stream. So everybody that's over there, make sure we'll give it away at halftime. So if you're tuning in and out or you can't stay for the whole game or whatever it is, halftime is when we'll do the giveaway. $500 given away tomorrow on the Patreon stream at halftime of the SEC Championship. Then I'll be on at 8 o'clock tomorrow night for the Big Ten Championship game and the ACC Championship game right here on YouTube. But hope y'all had a good Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.